It's finally happened. Alexander Isak will be joining Liverpool Football Club. Oh, bloody hell. Hearing my echo in the background. Um, I got the breaking news from my previous stream. I literally did 20 minutes ago. To shout out to LFC 20. Caught me off guard. I'm thinking there's no way that I can just leave my desk and not talk about this. So for me, it's a call in. So if you'd like to call in and have your say, I have pinned a link in the live chat. I've actually got a caller in right now, who I'm going to bring on the screen. Double D.
Yes, brother, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro. Talk to
Yeah,
me,
yeah, yeah. Man was winding down, bro. Man was the bombers. Yeah,
bro.
dropped. Mad. What a 24 hours.
Bro.
What a 24 hours. Beat Arsenal. I'm like 3 points is the main in it, and
Yeah,
now Isak to add to that line. Three from three, 9 points. And now we're going to add Isak to the forward line. And hopefully Guehi's coming as well. The only down now, because there was this one, is that it might be a case that Gomez is going. And after that little 11-minute cameo, even
yeah.
though his versatility should keep him at the club anyway. Funnily, I don't think he'd want to go. Fam,
I don't think he would go. I was
he's
so
been here
late in the
since he's
window as
7.
well.
Yeah, he's been here since he's 17.
Yeah,
Um, got married here. He's got a youth now, hasn't he? And them
yeah,
team. I don't think he want to go unless pushed. And his versatility, he'll be needed. He could even, in the worst case scenario, cover at DM as well as anywhere across the back.
yeah.
I'd
They
keep
played
him.
DM last season, I think, once. I think it
Yeah, a
was
couple
one of
times,
the
cup
Carabao
games,
Cup.
whatnot. Southampton in the cup, and he had a couple games where he played. Yeah, where he played. DM. Oh no, not saying not last season because he got knocked out early. That's in the season before, is
Where he was played predominantly left back, but then we moved him around. He played
Yeah,
right back
yeah,
that
yeah,
once, and
yeah,
then
yeah, yeah,
played
yeah, yeah.
DM. I
So
think it was one of the FA Cup ties, from what I remember. It was under Jurgen Klopp as well. You're right. So
yeah, yeah, Southampton. I think it was at home to
yeah,
Southampton, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, now, bro, this is major, bro. This is major. When all of this ESAT talk first started, I thought, it's like it's just a dream in it. They were saying
yeah.
dream signing, dream signing, dream signing, and I didn't really think too much of it. But as time went on, I started to believe. And look now, bro, look now,
But here
it's all
we've
mad.
got Alexander Isak. We've pretty much broken the transfer record now. I believe it's 125/130 million. It's not quite clear because I've read some sources saying that there's no add-ons, so it's 125. So I'm not too sure of it, but I couldn't care less for me.
Something
The player
about
coming through.
let me wait because there's so many journals reporting on it.
Do you know what?
Um,
Let me bring up
it,
some tweets as well because
it
I've
says a total
seen.
package five, so obviously the 125 is including the add-ons, but it says something about solidarity 125, but they're saying like um, it's worth 130. Sorry, it's worth
Yeah,
130 in solidarity, but we're paying 125. I don't even know what the hell that means, to be honest.
yeah, I don't even know what that means to be honest with you as well. Let me share the screen in terms of the tweets that I've been seeing because I've got them saved here as well. Let's have a look. So this is the one that I presented in the previous show. So Newcastle now reached total agreement with Liverpool to sell Alexander Isak deal for 25-year-old worth 130 million with solidarity. As you just mentioned, 125 million cost to LFC. So I don't know what that means in terms of what's this. Is that because we've peed them off a little bit, just give them 5 million on top? I don't know what that entails. Let's have a look at Fabrizio. So he pretty much kept it in plain English. Said, here we go. Deal agreed now. 130 million transfer fee, record move for Premier League. Isak on his way today for medical as a new Liverpool player after long-term deal agreed months ago. It was always only Liverpool for Isak, so that's nice. Where's there? And then Sky Sports also broke the news a little while ago, saying a fixed fee of 125 million. So I'm not sure in terms of what the other deal is. Um, but look, I am over the moon. Because the news broke when we were doing the match reaction show. I was just like, yeah, do you know what? Let me compose myself because I was getting a bit excited. I'm like, nah, I have to do a live stream. As you can tell, my artwork was already pre-planned. Like it was designed a few days ago. So I didn't even take I didn't even take long to it was already pre-planned. It was going to happen. That's how much confidence I had. You know, I had no time to even produce an artwork like that for my thumbnail. So I was ready. I was raring to go. So I'm over the moon. I think what you said, Double D, in terms of the Joe Gomez one, that's the dampener to this breaking news, in my opinion, because I don't think we should sell him. I don't see why we should sell him. It doesn't make sense for me because
Bro, it's all about depth. Depth.
that's the thing. We don't like we sold Kwanzaa and the replacement was supposed to be Mark Gay, which will be happening later on today as well. So Joe Gomez isn't, being told to move on to be replaced by Gay. It doesn't make sense for me. So and I always feel like with our current defenders as well, just look at today. Konate came off injured. Konate's got injury history as well. So you can't rely on four centre backs. I don't think that ever works. So for me, having four or five centre backs, but the fifth one in Joe Gomez is a different case for us because he's versatile, so he can play in different positions. So
Exactly.
for me, it makes zero sense to sell him. I feel like we've weakened our defense if we do keep him on. So I don't know. I'm quite surprised. Last I think it was yesterday or a couple of days ago. Palace wanted him as part of the deal. They were saying 30 mil plus Joe Gomez on loan, and we rejected that. But all of a
Yeah.
sudden, we're willing to accept. I think it's around 10 million from AC Milan for Joe Gomez. For me, that's a bit disrespectful to say he's a 10 million pound player. I don't.
Very disrespectful for a 27-year-old. Are you
Yeah,
nuts?
I don't care if he's injury prone. Like he's still a quality player. Look what he did today when he came on. He was dominant in the air. He made so many clearances. He was, definitely the reason why we were able to get out of danger from set pieces because that is Arsenal's game today. So I don't know. How do you feel? I'm very surprised. At the minute it's not, for certain that he will leave, but there seems to be talk that it could happen by tomorrow. So how do you feel about it?
No, I think it would be stupid because look, when we had, it was a case where Quansa was there as the backup to Gomez, Canate, and Virgil. I thought that we needed another centre half anyway. So then, if you're selling Quansa, you've got Leone and young, obviously still a teenager, needs to grow in that. I wouldn't even mind him getting, though he's been called up by Italy, so it would sound
Yeah.
disrespectful. I wouldn't even
Mm,
mind him having a game or two in the under, uh, before obviously we've got the League Cup match
yeah.
against, we've got Southampton in the League Cup, haven't we? And then obviously start him in that as well.
Yeah.
But before obviously unleashing him properly, starting in games for the first team. But if I felt we needed one extra when Quanta was there, to sell Quanta and to possibly let Gomez in as well, Guehi and Leone in there leaves us in a similar situation. Just the fact
Yeah.
that on paper, the fitness records of the two would look better because obviously
Better, yeah.
Gomez's availability at times has been the issue. But otherwise, I wouldn't by any means. I wouldn't depth, man, depth. Keep them all in there, um,
Yeah.
and then flipping, uh, yeah, keep them all in there, man, depth. And then that gives us the numbers because realistically, him or Bradley, unless Frimpong makes that is back
Mm,
calmly after the international break, um, it would need Bradley or Gomez starting right back anyway. Don't get it twisted. Somerside's playing like he's the best right back in the league at the moment, bro. But obviously that's not his natural position. He was amazing
that's not his
today.
game,
He
no.
was amazing today and very good against Newcastle as well, bruv. Like,
He
and I'm
was.
glad because he gets a lot of criticism, man. He's a very maligned footballer, as we've gone
Mm,
over before in previous shows, like the likes of Gakpo, like the likes of Curtis
yeah.
Jones, like the likes of some Harvey Elliott split some in the fan base as well. But
Mm,
Yeah, Dom was exceptional today, man. Martinelli did not get a sniff. You should be ashamed. You're not even playing against someone in their normal position, and
Yeah.
you couldn't get past him, bro.
Do you know what? It also puts into a bit of context how bad Trent was defensively because suppose that's not his game, but in the last couple of games, obviously, we're judging on pint side performance based on 2 games, but
Yeah, small
you know, he,
sample
he's
size.
he's kept any left wing at bay. Even today, of course, it's Martinelli.
Yeah,
Eze came on. Eze was a bit more of a tricky opponent for him today, but didn't really have as much of an impact as most would have expected.
yeah,
And of course, the other day we had Harvey Barnes and Gordon at times as well, and he was pretty much very content in terms of how he's performing. So look, Szoboszlai is definitely you know, showing his quality, not just as a player. I feel like, his adaptability to play in different roles is very, very important. So, I still feel like he's a midfielder. I don't think that's his role. I know a lot of fans are like, yeah, he's our new right back. I don't go off by that, but I do feel like it's great to know that if we have issues in that position, which could happen in the future because, you know, the likes of Conor Bradley, he does have an injury record. Frimpong doesn't, to be fair. He's just unfortunate to get a hamstring injury, but it puts us in a good stead that at least we've got someone that is a makeshift but produces good performances. And he's had tough tests against Newcastle and Arsenal and has pretty much, had 2 man of the match performances, in my opinion. So
yep.
for me, it's a very, very positive light to see,
Against
how
two
he's
tough
doing.
opponents. Against two tough opponents as well. Two tough opponents. So obviously Newcastle had 10 men for um over half of the game. Not easy
Yeah,
opponents. A man's done the job, like.
yeah, it's true. It's true. And you mentioned Harvey Elliott. What do you think is going to happen with him? Because there may be some suggestion that he's going to leave in this window. I'm going to check now because I feel like that there will be some sort of update. But do you think he'll end up leaving Liverpool, or do you think he'll end up staying um after tomorrow?
He's another one. I hope that he stays. The thing is with him is that I think he may stay because of his love for the club.
Yeah.
Um, he may stay and then review the situation in regards to by January what to do because you see that that he loves the club. His dad's is that loves the club and whatnot
That's
too.
the
So I
club.
think
Yeah.
his heart wants to stay, but his head is telling him that if he move and get regular football in a World Cup year, it
Mm.
might give him the chance to get into the senior squad for the tournament. You get what I'm saying? Because Curtis Jones is ahead of him. But to be honest, if you go off of Harvey's under 21 performance as well, and they do like to say that
Yeah.
they do like to say there is a pathway from the under 21 to the senior team, that would like. We'll see. We'll see. I want Harvey's another one. I want him to stay because I believe that the
Yeah.
numbers. All it takes is a couple injuries and you're back to square one. Um,
No, it's
so
true.
I want him to stay. I like the fact that Chiesa, obviously the goal helped against Bournemouth, but I like the fact that he's been used as well. You've got players there that can change the game. It shouldn't just be about. You get what I'm saying? It shouldn't just be about um, like have it like all backup. Another one that I want to be used, and be the third choice centrally. Well, you could say fourth because sometimes you might put Chiesa there. Um,
Mm.
Jaden Dansman, the guy can
Mm.
finish. I hope he plays. I hope he stays first of all,
Yeah. Yeah.
because and then I hope that he's used, even if it's just a case of off the bench in that cup game against Southampton, because Dan's
Yeah.
is a finisher, bro. I don't
He
understand
is.
why we don't want to give him the time, and he's only going to develop the other areas of his game
Yeah.
by getting more minutes. You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's one of them ones.
Is there a loan move on the cards for him? Because I feel like he went out on loan to Sunderland in January, but due to picking up an injury, he wasn't able to play consecutive games. Do you think that there's something on the cards for him? Because I feel like as much as I rate him, because I remember watching a couple of games with him. Um, I thought the Liverpool youth last season, where
Yeah,
he not last season, 2 seasons ago, where he was like scoring free kicks against Arsenal and stuff like that. So he was definitely a player, full of talent. But I feel like for him to evolve, maybe it would be best to get a loan move, and I'd like it to be at least in the Championship. I feel like that would be the league where he can really test himself against, in men's football, pretty much. and see how he does. I feel like that would be the right way to go. But look, if there's not any suitors, I don't think he would be a bad option to have. With we don't have too many strikers in our squad. Uh, you mentioned Chiesa. I feel like the fact that Chiesa gives us versatility is key. Today he came off the bench, played up top, can play on the left as well, can play on the right. So he's going to be an important player for us. I would like Harvey Elliott to stay. I
Yeah,
think he would give us cover for the right wing for Salah if you want a left-footed right winger, but also he can also play in that number 10 role. So I think for me, the best scenario in this window would be to, of course, Isak's coming now. So that's the one that was looking very unlikely, but it's happening now.
but
Also
but
sign
but
Mark Gahey.
Oz, we
He
need
still
to
got.
don't get twisted. Isak still needs to be
Oh, he'll be
wrapped in
fine,
cotton
man. Don't
wool.
worry, he'll
He
be
needs to be wrapped
fine.
in cotton wool. As you go say, I even just in jest on the timeline was saying that is he definitely going to pass his medical? You get what I'm saying? Like a bit of bench, just like a bit
I
of
think that's
humour.
that Nabil Fekir PTSD kicking in. I think he'll be fine. He should be able to pass his medical.
Bro,
But
because the joy, obviously, a better performance could have been had, but the joy that we're
yeah,
having at the moment, bro, is crazy. And Gay, he scored a bad boy goal as Palace smashed up
oh,
Villa, and
yeah,
he's just been the consummate professional right
yeah,
about now. So I don't think there'll be any booze, any like a real booze or anything like that from the Palace fans, because just like
okay,
Eze, I think they'll wish him good luck on his way should that
yeah,
get agreed. You get what I'm saying? But this is how you move and flex. If you want to defend your crown, this is how you move. The
yeah.
ones where
It's true.
that Paris Saint Germain first leg that we won was a wake up call because we won that Champions League group. Um, the big league table with the 36 teams, we were top of the league, and then to
Yeah,
come and to concede so many chances and whatnot, that was the reality check that you need to rotate more, keep some people fresh, but also as well, though you're top of the league, there is still room
mhm,
for improvement. You get what I'm saying? And
yeah,
we're flexing like a big one. People can say, oh, look how much money they're spending. We've made over 200 million in player sales, and there may even be more to come. Like,
mm,
you get what I'm saying? Like, moving properly like a business, made made some money,
yeah,
made done the outgoings. It all counts, even 3 million for that Philip.
yeah.
It all
Every little
counts
counts, isn't it?
for the Isak fund. You get
Yeah, yeah,
so yeah, man. So yeah, no, this is exciting times, bro. This is really, 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 really exciting times. Um,
yeah. I'm
so
excited.
yeah, man. Yeah, it's mad. I'm gassed. I can't lie. Like, I don't even actually want to go sleep because I feel I'm gonna miss something. I'm gonna try and get up as early as possible. I've got work to do anyway, but I'm gonna try and get up as early
Yeah,
as possible because I don't want to miss. Because remember, the deadline's is at 8 o'clock. It's not like a usual
it's 7
11,
p.m. It's
7,
7
see, 11
p.m.
p.m. So we're gonna
Yeah.
have to be very efficient with the way we move. So Sutton might. I'm sure there's gonna be news by at least 7:30 in the morning. You get what I'm saying? Of something. You get me? We're gonna have to be. We're gonna be moving, bruv.
Listen, don't be surprised if I do another stream in about an hour's time and it's like gay bomber as well, because the way we're moving right now, you just never know. So I don't know, because I feel like it did make sense for this move to be announced now, because it just basically you just got the medical pending now for tomorrow, and there's no really room for any negotiations or any sort of issues going forward. I always felt like this deal was wrapped up behind the scenes. It was just a matter of time that it was revealed to the world, and I feel like that's what's happened today. So the Mark Gay one, I haven't even seen the highlights, so I need to see his goal.
Oh,
So if he scored a
his
bad
goal was
I hope that
amazing.
has a
His goal was
yeah,
amazing, bruv. He's curled it. Just inside the box. He's bent it top bins, bruv. Like
yeah.
that's how midfielders and strikers score goals, bro. I don't know what got
All
into him,
right,
bruv. I don't know what
all
got
right.
it like. And then
I
even the interview, just very humble and whatnot. You get what I'm saying? It's
yeah, I watched
just
the
like
interview.
like
Yeah,
you get me. Come on,
I
man.
watched the interview. All right, let's go through some of the comments, man, because yeah, I got a few people there. So I was in Kavat, because he says, "Ain't no way Ozzy streaming 3 times in one night." You know what? I was thinking to myself, there's no way I can just lock it off and just not do no stream. So for me, as I mentioned, this artwork of my thumbnail was in the pipeline a few days ago. So I'm like, yeah, I gotta make use of it, and I gotta just do a stream. So yeah, that's why we're here. That's why we're chopping it up. And
Big up Ozan Kabak. I actually just started following him on Twitter, like literally, because I saw
yeah,
him
yeah,
having I saw him having a convo with you, so I've just started following you,
yeah,
Ozan.
yeah.
So yeah, big up, brother.
No, big up. And look, he gave me my flowers. He was telling me straight like us, you've been consistent from day one. So yeah, all my waffling for the last 2 months has paid off now. And Isak is coming through the door. So I'm over the moon. That's why I'm wearing sunglasses. Not sunny in this house right now, but I'm cocky, I'm arrogant because we've got our star striker. You've got Newcastle fans talking all kinds of recklessness throughout the whole summer. Now where are they? They're quiet. They're not talking much. They've slammed the door. They don't want to hear anything from Liverpool fans right now. So yeah, it's a beautiful day. As Double D mentioned, beating Arsenal, keeping a clean sheet, and then hopefully getting Isak and Gay. Well, what a great day it has been today.
Yes, bro.
Um, I'll then come back saying, "Yo, Double D, tell Ozzy to keep getting that fresh fade before each match day." Well, if that's what brings the titles home, then I might have to do. I might be a little bit skint in terms of my wallet, but if it helps Liverpool win, I'll do what I can. So yeah, if
No,
that's how it works, then I'll keep.
that's
I'd rather
hilarious.
I'd rather have a fresh fade than that Man United fan who's not cutting his hair until they win 5 games on a bounce. He's got a huge afro right now. He's on the verge of having dreadlocks.
Bro, we won the league and we didn't even do that last season. So he might be looking like flipping Tom Hanks in Castaway by the time the season's done,
Bro,
bro.
like he's still, he hasn't said anything about his beard, but if the beard was part of the deal, boy, you'd see like caveman look going on with that guy. Because right now he's probably not far off having dreadlocks. Like, that's that's how big his hair is right now. So I'd rather be having fresh haircuts to add luck to my team's games that are coming up. So yeah, I'd rather be in that shoe rather than what that guy's doing right now. Other comment said, is it weird that I'm not asked if the gay deal happens or not? I think this was the deal that we didn't expect to happen because of the magnitude of the deal in terms of it being a big fee. And let's be honest, Newcastle have been very difficult to, to deal with in this window. So we thought maybe it's not going to happen. And when you're hearing noises from certain journalists saying that, oh, they've not even had talks yet, when you're hearing that kind of noise, I'm thinking, oh shoot, maybe it's not going to happen. The gay one is more or less just, you know, discussing formalities about the add-ons and all that sort of stuff. So that kind of feels like it's on the verge of happening. Just it's a sooner rather than later kind of moment. So that's why I feel like the Isak one, it's excitement, but it's a bit of sigh of relief that we're getting the dream signing, we're getting a striker that we want. So yeah, so I understand in terms of you're not. I think you want Gay as well, but I understand in terms of you saying you're not asked because you know we've done the difficult deal first, if that makes sense. So now the second deal is just formalities going forward. So, but yeah, happy days. Can't complain at all. Yeah, and you just literally mentioned it because we've landed our target after such a long drawn. It's been a very long saga. It really has. So no, it's been long, but we've kept faith. I know a lot of fans were like, yeah, it's not going to happen, but it has. So I'm over the moon that is happening or it's going to happen. It should be all set and well, so in terms of done tomorrow in regards to the medical. So yeah, hopefully, we get some further news. SSB 20 is a big up, bro. Crazy day. It has been a crazy day, but I'm all for it. I love these kind of days. We don't get these days many often as a Liverpool fan, so I'm all for it. What was I trying to say? I can't sleep at all. I am wide awake, honestly. I've had a long day myself, but I've just got like I'm in another gear right now where I feel like I can just stay on. Maybe because what Double D said, maybe we'll get another bomber. You just never know. So I'm going to probably be refreshing the feed in front of you guys, just to see if there's
I
any
honestly
news
don't want to
happening.
go to sleep, bro. I think I don't want to miss a bomber, bro. It might be an all-nighter.
Trust me. This kind of felt like the Caicedo one, but obviously that fell apart. So I'm not jinxing it. Let's touch wood. That doesn't happen. But uh, yeah, because we were getting bombers at like 3 in the morning for the Caicedo deal. So it might be one of those nights again, I think. SSB 28 says this has to be the greatest transfer window in Prem history. I wouldn't put it past it. Double D, do you think there's been a window better than what Liverpool produce right now in terms
I
of
don't
quality
I
and the
don't
caliber
think
of players that have come in?
Nah, I don't think so, bro. I don't think so. I honestly think that this is a this is a proper mezzanine, bro.
Yeah,
This is the quality, yeah, the quality, as I say, the quality of player
yeah,
being brought in is crazy. It's
yeah.
absolutely crazy.
And what I like about this deal as well, I think, shout out to my guy Richard Hughes. He's played a blinder because he's done it where he's left it so late that we kind of forced their hand to accept that deal. Of course, we weren't going to offer anything stupid. It was always going to be a British transfer record. Yeah, and it's going to be where it was too good for them to turn down. So I feel like we've done it where you say, look, 125, take or leave it. Your player's already disgruntled. He's not even in Newcastle right now. Whether he's in London or Liverpool, I'm not too sure, but he's not there. Like he doesn't want to be around.
Yeah,
So it looks like we played 4D chess again. It's funny because Newcastle fans were like, "Oh, they're playing 4D chess" when it came to Ekatike and Isak, and it's funny they were saying, "Oh, we're going to play 4-4-2, Ekatike and Isak." Well, that's not going to happen. It might happen at Liverpool though. We might play 4-4-2 and have Isak and Ekatike playing as a strike force. So all that noise from the Newcastle fans they've been flipped upside down because now it looks like that's what's going to happen in a Liverpool shirt more so at Tyneside. So yeah,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
all for it. Got to be shameless in these kind of moments as well. So it has to be said. Uh, Ozan Kabak says, "Oh, that was you, double D. I'm falling back. Big up yourself, Ozan Kabak."
Big up, big
Uh,
up.
SSB 20 says, "What I like, what we did was wait to get our guy, not move like other clubs who spend for the sake of spending." Yeah, I always felt like it was Isak or no one else in this window. I don't know if you got that impression as well, Double D, because we weren't linked with many strikers. I think on top of our heads, if we were to think of an alternative, it would have been Julian Alvarez, but I don't really feel like that was something on the cards. I always felt like Isak was the man that they wanted. Did you think we were
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
target someone else if the Isak deal didn't happen?
Now the way that like they waited, it seemed like as though they were thinking it has to be a Isak thing still.
Mm, no, I
In
agree.
terms of how long like they waited for it, because there's other striker options out there. Not saying they're on his level, but the way how we waited, and they always said that that was what the dream signing was. But there's rumors that flipping the work has been put in from ages ago. Like I don't know if you
Yeah.
saw like people talking about the video, well not the video, what caught on camera when he the Carabao Cup final when they beat us, and then you could
Mm.
see him having a convo with
Van Dijk?
Virgil, and then the
Yeah.
camera catches them, and then Isak looks a bit like as though he didn't want to be caught by the
Yeah.
camera, but they were whispering something to each other, and I was thinking, boy,
Yeah.
you get what I'm saying? People are saying that they reckon that it was like a yeah, I'll see you. You get me?
Yeah, see you in pre-season, isn't it? Or something along those lines. See you in training
You
or
get me?
something.
See you in
So
training or whatever. You get me? So you know, you know,
I'm all for it. I don't know if that was the case, but I'm all for it. I'd love for that to be the case because I do feel like this was something that was in the works for months and months. I don't
yeah,
feel like it was
definitely.
something we
That's
just wanted to sign him all of a sudden. I think we earmarked him as the guy that we want to lead our line.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. Signing of this magnitude, it doesn't just happen
yeah,
like
no, no.
overnight type thing. You get what I'm saying?
Even the Florian Wirtz one, we got probably taken by full surprise in terms of that deal happening. But from what we heard afterwards, it was always Florian Wirtz that deal was discussed from January. So Richard Hughes, we thought he was on holiday in Italy. He was actually doing some work. So he was actually putting in the groundwork for the likes of Isak, Ekatike,
Yep,
and Florian Wirtz as well. So
yep.
I've had to eat humble pie.
So
And
what?
look,
So Richard Hughes has got his name back now. Yeah, he's not just some fake
listen.
Pierce Brosnan
No, no,
looking
no,
brother.
no.
Bro,
That was you, bro. That
not
that,
even
that
not,
wasn't me. I never
bro,
mentioned that. That
bro.
was you.
No, no, that was me. That was me. But not even 6 months ago, you dedicated and like I can't remember who you had on. You had like a 10 to 12 minute rant cussing out Richard Hughes, bro. Yeah, so
I
like
know,
he's legit
I
now,
know.
bro. He's legit.
Look, I will say on screen, I'm sure I've said it before, but I apologize to Richard Hughes for the things I said. I wasn't familiar with his game, but I am now. So, I appreciate all the hard work he's done. And look, he's got my full respect now. He's got my full respect. I can't say anything bad about the man now. So in my books, he's a legend. He's Don Richard right now. He's the guy. So yeah, we can't can't dispute that any further. Yeah, from Scott
Ozzy
Isak,
said
I
he's
would have literally
Ozzy
apologized
said
straight
he's
away.
sorry. Ozzy said he's sorry. He
I'm sorry. I'm
apologizes.
sorry. Yeah, I doubted him. Without having real credentials to just doubt him because I'm going based on what he did last year, but. I didn't really, look at the picture. I'm like, look, he's just walked in. Like, let's like Florian Wirtz's walked in. He will take time and he will showcase ability. It's the same with regards to Richard Hughes. The guy just walked into the office like just
Yeah.
because he's best mates with Michael Edwards doesn't mean he's going to hit the ground running. So maybe I was a little bit impatient, with my judgment there. But look, I'm happy. He's I'm not gonna lie, this summer window is beyond my expectations. Honestly, to sign the players that we've signed, it's FIFA career mode stuff. It's not real life, not from a Liverpool point of view, anyway.
It's mad,
So
is it? It's mad, is it? But this is how you react. Build to the position of power, and try and
yeah,
stack as many trophies as you can, and let Arne Slot go down as a legend. I mean, he's already on route. He's got a Premier already. You get
yeah,
what I'm saying? But some are saying that was with Klopp's squad, which to an extent it was. Um, but
yeah,
yeah, just yeah, like this is just mad. I feel like like. I feel a little sorry for Ekatike because obviously if we just bought Ekatike, yeah, and
yeah,
there'd been no Isak talk from before, would have been like, yep, good signing, but because it was like, oh, we definitely going to get
yeah,
Isak now, so it was a little, but yeah, but nah, like crazy and depth, and this is the thing. If injuries do occur, because you didn't have that much time out last season, only
yeah,
lengthy period compared to some other seasons, but if Ekatike's right there, that's what I'm trying to say. Um,
yeah,
if maybe Gakpo could be used there, though we obviously prefer Gakpo on the left, but Chiesa there because obviously it looks like he's going to stay. This is how you win by having bodies, and that means that you've got options for any type of occasion or match. That the in-game management is the key. You get what I'm saying? And Slot brought
yeah,
people on. Um, at decent times, whereas Arteta took too long, and then we at the end got the free kick and we scored in it. Like everyone thought, if anyone scores from a set piece, it will be Arsenal, but they had what 8 corners and did nothing with it because they were intimidated by the likes of Alisson. I mean, Verts was marking Gabriel, so all it would have taken was one good delivery into Gabriel. You're going to have a header at goal. You know what I'm saying? So we did our thing, bro. We did our thing,
we
man.
did our thing. We really did. No, that literally the way we moved right now, it is literally a dream window. Like as a Liverpool fan, it's by far the best window. I don't think it's even a debate. My only thing is, I really hope we don't sell Gomez because
Exactly.
I feel like him remaining in the squad, it gives me just more assurance that we are solid when it comes to that defensive department because I don't want to go into the season where, God forbid, touch wood, if Kanate picks up a long-term injury or something like that, it hampers our progress in terms of different competitions. If we have Gomez as our sort of squad player that can fill in the gaps and play in different defensive roles, it just gives me assurance going forward. Like if you look at our attacking options, if Harvey Elliott stays as well, I think he gives us great cover for the right hand side. And then you've got Chiesa who can play on the left, and you've got Ekitike, Isak.
This is the thing,
Everything's filled.
Harvey.
We've got
And this
yeah,
is the thing, as you said, on the left of the attack, but Harvey can play as a 10. Harvey can play on the right of of the
yeah,
midfield three as well. You get what I'm
yeah,
saying? So that's what I'm saying. Versatility, different bodies. You get me? Different. You get me?
yeah,
Horses for courses, or whatever it is that they say. You
definitely.
know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah,
adapt different scenarios will bold. Okay, you go to this position and you do this. You get what I'm saying? And this and
yeah,
that's what will carry us through. We've looked too light at times. Even today, for some people, just the substitutes bench. I thought, considering we've got a couple of injuries, I thought that's a decent
yeah,
bench. People could come on and do something. And as you commented earlier when you did your player ratings and whatnot, Curtis
yeah,
Jones come on, won the free kick, did well.
yeah, yeah,
You get me, did well in there. You get me. Chiesa came on, apart from 1-1 where maybe he should have passed to Salah, but he went himself, did well. He gave us something different to think about. And I clearly wasn't
yeah.
prepared for those subs. But
No,
saying that, if you did give it to Salah, Salah did not have a great game. Like his first touch evaded him today. So
yeah.
maybe Chiesa did do the better thing, going to go have a run and shoot because
I
then it got
thought he did the
deflected. You
right
get me?
thing, to be honest with you, because I feel like he confused the defender. I
Yeah.
think if he was just a bit more direct, and had a bit more power in that shot, he would have at least hit the target for me. So for me, he did the right thing there. But for me, the perfect window right now in the next 24 hours is Isak, Mark Gahey, and Joe Gomez and Harvey Elliott stay. I don't think
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
too much
yeah,
to ask,
yeah.
if I'm being honest with you. I feel like if they stay, honestly, not even gonna sound like I'm going over the top. We can go for the quad because that's a complete squad there. There's no reasons in terms of like why we can't challenge because we've got at least two players per position now. That's how I'm looking at it. So, I will be shameless. I'll be like doing this on every show if I have to do it. But yeah, I would think that would be the best case scenario. If Joe Gomez leaves, we still have four centre backs, but then I feel like a little bit concerned because now if Joe Gomez leaves and Konate, we don't know the extent of his injury. What if he's out for the next couple of months? Then that would mean Mark Gay would have to come in, of course, if he's a Liverpool signing, which I expect him to be now. But, then you're forcing Leone to be in the first team picture where maybe we don't want to rush him so soon. We want him to take his time. Remember, he's an Italian defender from Serie A, so he's going to need to have time to understand the English game and see what it entails. Of course, in terms of what he brings to the table as a person, he's physical, he's great with sort of tackling and all that sort of stuff. But the Premier League is played at a frantic speed, so it's not the same as Serie A. So he's going to need time to get accustomed to that, learn off the likes of Virgil van Dijk, who I'm sure will be his mentor going forward. So I don't want to, rush him so much. Just like I don't want Rio to be rushed into the first team fold as well. So in an ideal world, I'd love for us to keep Joe Gomez, keep Harvey Elliott, and leave the squad as it is, and Mark Gahey and Isak as your transfer day you know, deadline signings is what dreams are made of. We probably celebrated Arthur Melo a few years ago on deadline day, think, oh, we got someone.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
that,
yeah. Because I've been the Arthur fan from there. I'm not gonna lie. So, but
yeah,
I didn't know he was gonna barely pay for the club. But yeah, I hear what you're
yeah,
saying. That the magnitude, just to show you the magnitude of this, is just like, oh, we're active because so many
yeah,
deadline days under Klopp. We've sat there and we thought we need something, defender, whatever. Even if it is a backup, like what we
yeah,
thought Arthur was due to do, we've done nothing to a point where we could go out, operate. If you're doing your 9 to 5 or whatever, you can operate like it's a normal day. Whereas
yeah,
you want to be sitting there like waiting, like oh, I remember when we had to sell Torres, and then we obviously Suarez coming in, like them last few days and deadline day. You're sitting there, and any
yeah.
lunch break or any form of break you get, all you're doing is checking your phone. You get me? But
It's
we've had
great.
too many deadline days where we know we're not going to do any
Yeah.
form of business, so we're just looking to see what other teams have done. You get me?
It's true, especially deadline days. Like we've always been very quiet, especially under Jurgen Klopp. I think that time when we signed Ozan Kabak, ironically, and Ben Davis, that was an emergency because we didn't have a lot of options there. But the Artemelo one, I thought he was going to be decent for us. I'm not going to lie, because he's actually a very talented player, but he ended up being a hologram for us. Only played 13 minutes, and then after that, he's gone. So. Uh, that that was the level of transfer deadline day signings we were making. And of course, the best one was probably Suarez coming through, Andy Carroll. I look back at it. I don't know if you remember Double D. I think we were actually trying to sign Benzema at the time, but we couldn't get the move, and then we ended up going for Carroll. That's what was the rumor at the time. So I remember
Yeah,
it clearly because Benzema's been my guy for a long, long time. So as you can imagine, if we had got Benzema and Suarez in the team, that would have been illegal, if I'm being honest with you. But the Suarez deal, that was probably one of the best ones in transfer deadline time. But I think Mark Gahey and Alexander Isak probably wipes the floor, if I'm being honest with you, because whether you like it or not, Isak is definitely one of the best strikers in the world football. People will tell you, oh, he's not. They're gonna try and dampen it for us, that what about Ekitike? He's not going to solve the issues and all that sort of rubbish. But look, for me, we've got the gunman that we needed, that we've lacked, and I feel like he's going to give that fear factor to not only teams in the Premier League but also in Europe now as well.
exactly.
So
But do you think though, bro? How's this going to work? Is it just a case where Ekatike goes to the bench because of the fact that Isak has come, or is it going to be Isak gets eased in because he's barely trained in that, but he has
Yeah,
been called up by Sweden, so I don't even see him starting for Sweden. I see him come off the bench, so I still see Ekatike starting against Burnley. I
yeah,
think it will be the game after that that Isak will start. But what does this mean for Ekatike though? Does this mean Ekatike is going to go to the left, or it's just a face where he goes to the bench and then he's the first option at centre forward? If we're taking Isak off, or if it's a case where we're chasing a game, hopefully
yeah,
that won't be happening too much. We will switch up the formation and go with the two of them up top, even if it's just for the
yeah.
last 20 minutes of a match or something. How's it going to work?
I think it's gonna be a mix of everything you just said. I feel like initially it's going to be where Ekitike remains in the team just because Isak hasn't had a preseason. Like, he's gone off done individual training at his former club, but he hasn't played games. So for me, he's not fully fit. Despite being selected for Sweden, I don't know if he's going to start, if he might get a few minutes here and there. I feel like the best thing to do is slowly transition him into the team. So let Ekitike lead the line in the next couple of games and then bring on Isak off the bench and manage his minutes from there onwards. And once we feel like he's raring to go, that's when we slowly embed him in the starting lineup. But I can also see them playing together as well. Whether in a it's going to be interesting. This is what I'm very intrigued about because I know for Sweden, Isak actually plays more on the left, and you've got Gyökeres playing as the
Yeah,
main
yeah.
striker
Gyökeres
there.
is the main nine, and Isak floats around behind him. Yeah,
So that could be the role that he plays at Liverpool. Like he's not going to be an orthodox left winger because we don't really play like that either. But that could be a thing that happens. But I also feel like we're not going to be predictable with that either. I feel like there will be times where if Ekitike and Isak are in the same team
they
in
can
our current
interchange.
setup, they'll interchange.
Yeah, they'll
Just like
interchange
it was
because
with Gakpo and
look at
Diaz last season as well.
yeah,
I think
yeah,
that's how it
exactly.
works.
Because look at
Yeah,
Frankfurt, especially last season before Mamouche um, went to Manchester City. But you see a lot of the
yeah,
goals that Mamouche scores because Mamouche is very good at bursting through the centre when he does play up top and not on the wing, which is obviously formerly his natural position, bursting through and shooting across the goalkeeper. And if you watch the goals that he scored, who is the one on the left or the right dragging defenders out of position to create space for him? It's Ekatike. You get what I'm
yeah,
saying? Though the likes of a transfer mark or whatever will put down, he's predominantly played up top, moves around a bit. So as you said, it gives them two of them the ability to interchange. But
yeah.
Gakpo just signed a new contract. I think, well, an contract extension, 2.5 years added to whatever his deal was before. So
Yeah.
therefore, if he wasn't given reassurances, he wouldn't have signed that
Yeah.
contract. So therefore, says to me that for certain games is going to be Gakpo is still going to stay on the left.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
Salah obviously on the right, he's at there, but also it allows us when needed be to rest Salah. It will be
Yes.
annoying for people that play FPL, for instance, but it gives us the opportunity to obviously rest Salah and Salah playing a couple
Mhm.
less games, starting 2 or 3
Yeah.
less games a season is bad
Yeah.
news for the league. And remember as well, what
Agreed.
they're probably thinking of as well, what helps spark this, bro, AFCON's earlier. It's in December, the busiest
Yeah.
time of the season with all the games in and around Christmas and whatnot. It's just a month
Yeah.
where they fit a lot in because obviously there's no international breaks. But when they're done in November, the international
Yeah.
breaks start again in February. So he's going to miss a month of football depending on how far Egypt go.
Yeah.
And therefore, man, them are going to get minutes in that time, in it. Which again, with the cup
Definitely.
games, hopefully will still win League Cup and that as well.
Yeah.
Uh, allows us more time to and that gives us enough time to give these players minutes and boosting confidence, and it will be better should we face any injuries or anything in the title run. Not
Yeah.
to do with Liverpool, but Aston Villa are in talks to get Jadon Sancho.
Are they?
Yeah,
Ah.
two separate
Re-
deals. It looks like Emi Martinez, because he wasn't in goal for Villa earlier, will be going Man United.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That's a good signing for them. I'm not gonna lie.
Very
That's a
good.
good. Obviously, doesn't fix a lot of issues because they. I feel like they've got a lot of work to do. But that's a definite upgrade on Onana too. I think me and you would be upgrade on Onana anyway. So that's not a difficult task, but that's interesting. Does that? I'm not trying to get too giddy here, but does that open the chance of Morgan Rogers leaving Aston Villa for Liverpool? Because that's been the current
That's been the
whisper
thing as well.
in
But
the
the
last
thing
two,
is with
three
me is
days.
that I prefer Rogers. Obviously, he's been used on the left or right a fair bit by
Yeah.
Emery, but I think Walker Rogers' best position is as a 10, buff. I think in
10,
the
yeah.
10, box to box, he kills. And almost at times, like what we say about Sobersai, comes as an 8 because the work rate in there, the work he gets through,
Yeah.
like box to box, um, is crazy, bruv. So, yes, I don't think the Rogers one will happen. But
Okay.
I think Martinez to United will help them because I think they've still got a little minor PSR issue. But
Yes.
so yeah, so it'll be interesting um
That's
to
interesting.
see how that reference. But yeah, with that deadline finishing at 7, bro, it's gonna be a crazy day, man. Like
Yeah.
I don't even know how much I can see before when we jump off it.
There's literally, I think as soon as you wake up, you're gonna see, and
Yeah,
it's not
gotta
just
be on it.
Liverpool, I'm talking about
Gotta be
all the
on it,
clubs.
bro.
So much business happening. It's just like, what on earth is going on? So yeah, it's gonna. I feel like I might even have to do like an early stream tomorrow just to keep up with what's going on. But yeah, that is
gonna,
crazy.
gonna see us eating breakfast during the stream.
Trust me, don't be surprised. I'll be like, my eyes are like, I might have to put these glasses on again just so you don't see my face and my eyes in the morning like all red and stuff. So yeah, look, there's gonna be a lot of going on. I think from a Liverpool front, we just want that Isak medical to be cleared and everything's all good. I'm sure he'll be wearing the number 9 shirt. So Isak number 9, I think it will be the presentation for him. And I think Mark Gahey probably get number 16. I don't think no one has number 16 on our team, so maybe he gets that shirt number as well. So
I'm sure there was a
yeah,
player's number. I'm sure there was a player's number you guessed about earlier on in
Leone.
the window, and was it Leone? And you got it bang on.
Leon, yeah,
It was
I
Leone,
said
yeah.
15 for him. So, let's see, let's see if I'm right. So yeah, let's see what happens. I'll just go through some of the comments here. SSB20 says people comparing this window to Galactical type of windows. It's not far. I think the Galactical was I think that's the greatest of all time. When they got the likes of like Zidane, Ronaldo, them kind of ones. But of course, with it being in one window, you know, this in terms of what we're looking at in current football terms, these are top players. They're not just any random players or players of potential. They are players that are established and raring to go. So I don't know. I feel like from a Liverpool point of view, I don't think it's a debate. This is definitely by far one of the best windows in our history. And I know we used to be big spenders in the 80s as well, but I think in current times, uh, this is definitely definitely up there. From the dark days of Roy Hodgson deals and all sorts, we've come a long way to say the least. Um, SSB20 says stupid talent on the team. That's the intriguing thing as well because we're discussing tactics in terms of how the team will set up, but I think that presents unpredictability to our opponents as well because there will be games we play 4-2-3-1, but I can see us playing 4-3-3. I can even see us playing like a 4-4-2 diamond as well, where you've got Verts and you've got Isak and Ekitike. If Salah's not available, maybe during AFCON we played them as a strike force. And then you've got Gakpo providing a cover and Chiesa as well. So
Yeah,
there's plenty of options, plenty of different layers for us to be disruptive to any team going forward. So I feel like this signing is just going to cause havoc to our opponents because they wouldn't know how to tactically set up against us, which is what you want. And I think that's what Arnold Slot wants as well. We don't want to be, known as a predictable team that's always going to do things to the book. It's always different formations based on different systems and based on different opponents. With certain opponents, you know, in today's game, maybe if Isak was a player, Liverpool player before, we would have utilized him, in a two-man strike force if needed. So
yeah,
for me, Isak is just gives us a new dimension, added dimension to what we have. Um, and look, even if it was the straight up, honest sort of assessment where it's Isak and Ekitike is his backup, not a bad backup to have, is it? Ekitike we've seen is more than capable of leading the line for us. So if that is the
yeah.
case, then any way you look at it, we've
ready
got
to
strength
go,
in depth.
ready to go. It's also all about being prepared for the worst case scenarios if there's injuries
Exactly.
and that. You get what I'm saying? Being prepared. This is how we should have done it when we won the league in 2020.
Yes.
A better
Yes.
window. Though obviously we got in Thiago, and so we were all gassed about that, right? A
Yeah.
better window, and then yeah, and then you give yourself. Then obviously, even with those injuries that we had, we don't go to history. We had double figure injuries. I think it was as many as 12 bodies we had out at a stage. That would still give us the opportunity to, you get me, to challenge. You get what I'm saying? Um,
No, that's true.
to do it because remember, despite losing 6 home games in a row, which was absolutely diabolical. We worked our way back up from ninth to finish third. So imagine if we'd reacted earlier and brought in came back during obviously
Mm.
that window. To imagine if we'd acted earlier, or if the squad at the start of the season even was better prepared.
Yeah.
Because remember we were
Yeah.
top before them. It was only Van Dijk was injured when we were top. You know,
Yes.
9 wins,
Correct.
4 draws, and a defeat. It was only that smash. We got smashed 7-2 by Villa, innit? That was only defeat.
Yeah.
And then we just started losing at home repeatedly. Um,
Mm.
and then we bounced back. We didn't. Our last 10 games of the season, I think it was 8 wins and 2 draws. The draws, stupid draws against Leeds and Newcastle, where we conceded late goals. Otherwise, if we'd won those 2 games, I think we would have nicked second, if I'm not mistaken, which is
Yeah.
crazy when you come to think of it. So imagine if there were extra bodies there in that squad, but it would have been
Yeah.
another title challenge
That's
um,
true.
in deep into the season. So yeah, man, that's exciting times, but I know that it might not be all good luck within the next. How long we got? 17 hours.
Yeah. Nah, we'll be fine. We'll be fine.
It
We'll be
might not
fine.
all be good news in the next
We'll be
17
fine.
hours.
It's
And
just that now for care thing, I think it's in the back of our mind, like, like the deals don't mess up. But I'm confident that we will get the deal done.
you know the joke is
Um,
until we got first, we actually still needed Fakir up until
I know, I
buying
know,
first. We still needed him, bro.
I know. Trust me. SSB28 says, I want to see a press conference on Friday or on the weekend when we introduce Isak and Guehi, or even open up Anfield and have a press conference in Anfield in front of fans. That would be
A-
amazing if they were to do that.
after the international break.
Mate, that would be definite scenes if that was the case. Other comments, Ozzie, have you submitted the Richard Hughes apology form? I did it a few weeks ago, to be fair, but I'm happy to do it again. I said it
Yeah,
earlier in the
yeah,
show.
us.
I said it, so I've made it very loud and clear. And yeah, I take back anything that I've said about Richard Hughes because he's definitely proven me wrong. I'm sure he's proven a lot of people wrong as well, but yeah, I've had the courage to say on screen that I apologize for my misjudgment. I wasn't familiar with his game, but I think we all are now, which is to our
Yeah.
advantage, isn't it? So we'll
Get,
take it.
get the Shaq memes out. Sorry, I wasn't familiar with your game.
Trust me. SSB28 says if Curtis Jones was born in France or Brazil, people would rate him so much higher. I don't know if it's the nationality thing. I think with Curtis Jones, I think with some fans, it's the way they assess players in terms of a player's demeanor. Because like for example, back in the day, you would get certain French players, and people are like, oh, they're always sulking and stuff. But it's actually not them sulking. It's just they've got a different mentality. Does that make sense? So,
Yeah.
people used to say that about Thierry Henry and Anelka that they're just sulking on the pitch, but it's just because they're driven a different way. So they are normally played where maybe they're angry about something, and then that gives them the aggression to go forward and do well. So whereas Curtis Jones, he's not that. He doesn't have that kind of demeanor, but he's a bit more sort of. He's not dynamic. He's not flamboyant in any shape or form, but he's a good footballer in my opinion. So um, I feel like he's misunderstood by certain fans within our fan base. I think he's a good player. I think he's a player that gives us versatility, which me and Double D have mentioned quite a bit today. We need players that can come in and do certain jobs for certain parts of the season. And I think Jones today was impactful. Without his presence, we may not have, had that kind of guile to go at Arsenal the way we did. You know, he's the one that got fouled because he was driving with the ball towards the goal. So, you know, these are the moments that, you know, we needed. You know, McAllister wasn't producing that level of performance today. So when Jones came on, he definitely had an impact in the game. So I don't know. Every fan will have different opinions about certain players, but I think his criticism is a little bit unjustified. But that's just my opinion there. Ozzy come back says, I thought Ozzy was gonna say Bradley Barcola. I'm still dreaming of a Bradley Barcola bomber. Whether it happens or not, remains to be seen. If it happens tomorrow, bloody hell. You know, I'm just gonna lose the plot. I'm gonna probably be doing a 24-hour stream where I can't sleep because we've got Barcola through the door. So I don't think that will happen. I'm not going to. I feel like there's always a stream where I have to mention his name, but after the transfer window, it should be dead from there onwards, hopefully. So uh, we'll see how it goes. SSB 28 says Isak actually plays left wing for Sweden, and he did during his Sociedad days. So that's very interesting to hear as well. Ozan says, Ozzy, just don't sleep. Yeah, I don't know if I can, to be honest with you. By the way, 100. By the way, Isak is 100% going to pick the number 9 shirt, isn't he? I believe so. You know, his current shirt number is 14 at Newcastle, but Chiesa is still at the club, and I don't expect him to leave. So I'm expecting number 9 to be Isak's number because it's the vacant number at the club. So yeah, I'm expecting Isak to pick number 9. Double D, did you see what's the wrestler's name that wore the Isak number 9 shirt at one of the house shows?
Oh yeah, yeah, JD McDonough from the
That's
Judgment
it,
Day. Yeah,
JD
yeah, yeah,
McDonough,
yeah.
yeah.
That was
So
hilarious. That's how you do it when you're a heel. That's how you do it. You get me? The heat was
yeah,
crazy. The fans were. I'm surprised someone
they
didn't
were
try and
on his
jump on.
case.
If they could have got sort of past security, someone would have probably jumped onto the stage and tried attacking me. But you get me? That was hilarious.
Trust me. Imagine if he was at St James Park, because I'm thinking, yeah, that's because I know Sami Zayn was there. I actually noticed him when I was doing the watch
Sami
along.
Zayn in his Newcastle shirt, innit? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
noticed him in
yeah.
the car,
I'm
so I'm thinking,
disappointed.
what's
I'm
in
disappointed
there?
in you, Sammy. I hope you never win a world title now.
Trust
Nah,
me.
nah, I'm playing. I'm playing.
You know, he's got the US title now, so you know that's. I mean, if he gets the world title, that's his. He's a Grand Slam champion, isn't he? So yeah, let's see
Yeah,
if he
yeah,
can.
exactly. What's it? Yeah, what's it? Did you watch Clash in Paris earlier?
I did, yeah. That's why I
Okay.
was late on my stream. So
Oh,
it was scheduled
scene.
for
Okay,
11, but I ended up
okay.
doing it for
Oh,
11:30. So yeah, I
okay,
watched it.
okay, okay. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
it was a
yeah,
good
yeah.
watch. I know
It was
online
better than
fans are a
it was
bit.
better than I thought it was gonna be, I must say. But I don't know how 6 matches took almost 4 hours. But yeah, such is
That's
life.
what I thought as well. I was thinking, how on earth? And it wasn't even like there was like long breaks in between or anything. It was just like quite straightforward. But yeah, I'm very surprised that it was 4 hours as well. But I thought it was a good show. I know some fans have been quite dismissive online, but you know, you can't appease online wrestling fans. They are a different breed as well, to be
Yeah, yeah.
fair.
The IWC are a different breed, bro. Different breed.
Yeah, they are, they really are. Kieran, Big Up Kieran says, I'm just happy he's out my club. I'm assuming you're a Newcastle fan. That's how you feel. That's how you feel. You know, I'm over the moon that he's coming to us. So yeah, I don't so I know some fans are like, oh look, what if he does that to you in the future in terms of the way he's treating Newcastle? Look, until that day happens, you know, I'm gonna enjoy Isak being a Liverpool player. So I'm not here to predict the future or anything like that. I'm here to enjoy the present season. And right now, Isak has just, for me, strengthened our quest for signing or for winning multiple trophies this season. So that's the level and that's the kind of player that we needed in our squad. So I'm over the moon. You're happy that he's left, you know. So be it. I understand because it's been a bit weird, a bit toxic in terms of how the transfer has unfolded. But no, as you can tell by the look on my face, I'm over the moon about the signing. Did it, Steve? Big up yourself. Stevie says, where are the Newcastle fans that said there was zero chance Isak leaves for Liverpool? They're in bed right now. Clearly, they're not here. They're not here to talk. So yeah, they're not here at all. Kieran says couldn't stand the transfer thing any longer. So thank God I don't need to wait for tomorrow. Even from a Liverpool fan's point of view, it was dragging. You know, I was trying my utmost best to remain upbeat and let the viewers know, stay positive. And I had viewers that were like dismissive, saying, "Oh, it's not going to happen." But it was dragging on. But I am glad that there's a conclusion. I think for both fans because we were both getting slightly fed up. You're probably fed up in terms of you've got someone that's been disrupted to your squad, so you just want him out. Whereas we just want that player through the door now. We need him. He's the final piece of the puzzle alongside Mark Guehi. So yeah, we're all for it. For him to join us. So yeah, gives a bit of peace and quiet for the next couple of days, I guess. Kieran says, does Sami Zayn support a football team or something? He supports Newcastle, so he was at the Newcastle Liverpool game.
Yeah.
Um, he was with another wrestler, wasn't he? Was it Pac from
It looked like it
AEW?
was Pac. He used to be Neville in WWE, and he's from actually from Newcastle, Pac.
Ah,
But yeah,
yes,
that's what it looked like next to him still. But the camera
yeah,
um was on them. Look, I saw actually a still photo when they actually came. You could see they put the camera on them on Sky. I wasn't actually um in the room when it happened. Someone sent a
yeah,
picture just after it happened. You get me? But yeah, it looked like
yeah,
Neville and Pac now in AEW. Like yeah, and he was cold. He's
yeah.
a cold wrestler. You know what I'm saying?
He is,
They should be trying
he
to
is.
get that guy back because I'm in.
Yeah, is he still at AEW or is he somewhere else
I'm
now?
not sure because I don't watch AEW anywhere near as
Too
much as
much,
I watch
yeah,
WWE. You get me? I can't
yeah,
even keeping up with WWE sometimes is a lot because with all these Saturday night main events and then
yeah,
all these other things that they're doing, it seems like you don't get 3 or 4 weeks without uh something you have to watch. It used to just be like monthly, so end of the month whenever. But now like all these different things, like you know what I mean, and there's more coming, bro. There's another Worlds Collide coming.
yeah,
That WrestlePalooza coming and whatnot. You get me? But yeah.
yeah. I'm not sure about that name though, WrestlePalooza. That sounds
Yeah,
a
I
bit
think they're
weird.
just running out of names because they've run through so many things, but they've got some dead names there. You get what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
but
No, it's a lot to keep up. Even the AAA stuff, like I've seen bits and bobs. Like I haven't watched the whole event from beginning to end.
the,
Um,
the the first AAA event was very, very, very good. Very
yeah,
good.
I saw half of that thing. That was good. I think the recent one was decent as well.
The recent
I
was
did
decent.
watch
Well,
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. They got some good wrestlers in there, man. They saw a lot of high flying, like when they had
Yeah.
205 live with the what's the cruiserweights in
Yes.
WWE. It's a lot like that. So if you like high flying guys like your ricochets and that, then yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good thing to watch. You get me?
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. Uh, the Luis D says we didn't hold Diaz or Darwin hostage. No, we did. We didn't. To be fair, Kieran says that he never knew that in regards to Sami Zayn. He was literally. I think I saw him in the crowd thinking that's Sami Zayn. What on earth is he doing? I don't even know he's supporting Newcastle. So I know you've got Finn Balor supports Tottenham, and JD Madonna he supports Liverpool, and of course, Sheamus is a big Liverpool fan. He's pretty much on those fan zone shows or in
Yeah,
US
yeah,
TV,
yeah,
so
yeah,
he's
yeah.
always representing Liverpool to the fullest. So yeah, there's a few wrestlers that I do know that support.
I'm
Certainly
forwarding. I'm
some
forwarding you the
support for
picture.
random reasons, but
I'm,
they're
I'm
genuine.
forwarding you the picture now. Still was.
Oh, are you? Okay.
I'm forwarding it to yeah, this, yeah, yeah,
Let's have a look.
yeah. There's a logo top right. I don't know if you've got. I
Yes.
don't know if you've got to crop that out. I don't want to get you done for copyright.
La la la. I think we'll be fine. I'm gonna put that on my screen right now. Let me forward it. Yeah, because when I saw, because I've seen this picture, I couldn't tell if it was Pac, but everyone is saying that it is him. Um, so yeah, let me put that up for Kieran, because obviously Kieran's not seen it. Um, so everyone knows, like he was actually at the game, and what a game to be present in, to be fair as well,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
that was definitely a fiery encounter. So you couldn't have picked a better game than that. Let me load it up for you guys so you can have a look as well. Here we go. So here we go. So this is the picture. Sami Zayn at St James's Park on Monday night. So Sami Zayn, of course, looks like Sami Zayn. The pack, it looks like him, but I'm not 100% sure.
yeah. Yeah,
But
I'm
then I'm
not
looking at his
sure.
arms, thinking, yeah,
Yes.
he looks hench. So yeah, it could be him. So yeah, so
Uh,
they were in
Will he be
attendance. They
anyone
were
see a
literally near the
picture? So
corner flag.
anyone that's seen the picture said, I'm sure that's Pax, so more than likely it is, you get me?
Yeah,
Because
it looks like
they're
him.
all wrestling heads as well. It's not like just random people like asking, you get me? So,
Yeah, no, it does look like him. To be fair, just got a comment here. Procure saying the person behind him. What's wrong with bro's eyes? Yeah, uh, it looks a bit crazy, doesn't he? It might just be the quality of the image.
yeah, probably the quality of the image, yeah.
Yeah, because you know when you capture like that, it's a bit off, isn't it? But yeah, yeah, I recognize Sami Zayn from afar, and that's when I was doing the watch along for that game as well. So um, yeah, definitely surprised to see him there, but of course also good as well. He's in the UK, so probably right for him to at least watch a game um in attendance as well. Just gonna quickly go on Twitter just to see there hasn't been a bomber since me and Double D have been speaking out loud. You never know when it comes to the Twitter world. No, that seems okay. I'm seeing. I'll have to share this with the on the screen now. Let me take that picture off. The shackles have been off for Isak. What a picture that is. I'll have to use that for one of my next shows because that's a brilliant picture there. Um, Delisi says, Oz, any chance not plays 4-4-2 with Isak and Ekitike? That's been the common theme from Newcastle fans, hasn't it? You never know. We can because we've got both of them in the squad. So why not? Why not play 4-4-2? I'd love for us to play 4-4-2 against Newcastle. That would definitely rub a bit of salt on the wounds, isn't it? But yeah, you never know. It can be done. Because I remember when when I was predicting, how Liverpool going to set up with Verts and Isak, all those weeks ago. I thought a 4-4-2 diamond formation would
Yeah,
work
yeah,
pretty
yeah,
well.
yeah, yeah. I mentioned that on our show, on the radio show, on the Footy on Top
Yeah,
show. I said that's what I said. My boy was talking about
yeah,
a floating like 442 diamonds. You get what I'm saying?
yeah. Because then I feel like everyone's playing in their sort of natural role, and I feel like it could really work. So it'd be interesting to see, if that's something that's going to happen. But the
Might
good thing
open
is
up
we've got
more.
options.
Yeah, it might
We've
open
got,
up more space for verts. That, you get me?
yeah. What did you make of Versus performance today?
I don't think he's still got to get up to
Yeah,
the speed, but I don't think his performance is nearly as bad as some people have made out. I think it's just like a bit of hyperbole because they might have him in their FPL team or something like that. But
yeah, probably.
I watched a compilation of him of the game. I'm gonna watch because it's international break. I'm gonna dissect the game again before we go on radio on Saturday anyway. But yeah, some parts of the game were very good. Him and Ekatike had some very good touches in the game, but the other players just didn't seem to be on their wavelength. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm saying, as you said, they McAllister was harried throughout the game,
yeah.
and
It
that
felt like that.
Gavin Birch did okay, but I just think some of our spacing could have been a bit better. But in the second
Mm,
half, when Arsenal got a bit more tired, our spacing did improve and we pressed better. Because regardless of how much Arsenal fans are talking about better team and they deserved it, if that had been us working with like a gegenpress like we did under Klopp, the amount of times we could have won the ball off them is crazy. It's like at times, I
mm,
know Slot talks a lot about reserving energy, and you saw it today, the benefit of it, because we were the better
yeah,
team in the second half. But yeah, there were multiple times where just a bit more, we would have nicked the ball off them, and then it would have had a direct opportunity to have a shot on goal. But we've won
yeah.
anyway, so that to an extent that's nitpicking. But
It is.
yeah, when all I'm saying is that we scored 8 in 3 games and no GA for Vert, so be afraid. Isak's coming, be afraid. Guehi could be coming, be afraid of it. You get what I'm saying? Because we've not even played good yet,
Exactly.
and we're the only team in the goddamn league with maximum points in it. So you can't all you want in it, but
Yes.
like that's what's going down the mid.
That's it, because like you said, we're not playing well right now. So if we're adding all of these players to our current squad, then
We want all four
it,
trophies, bro, and that's the mentality to have.
I want it
We
as
want
well.
all
I
four
want it
trophies, bro. We want to be the first team, and this great club deserves it, and dedicate that to Jota. You get what I'm saying? Dedicate
100%.
that to Jota.
That would be the best way to represent him this season, because I feel like we're in a position where we can go for all titles. We've got the squad now. if you're looking at the additions that we've made. So for me, it's a very exciting team, very exciting squad, where it's not just 11 plus a few subs that will have an impact. I think all 25 players are at that level where they can have a huge impression in our season. So exciting times ahead, honestly. This window for me has just been out of this world so far. Deleu Steve saying Verts left mid, Salah right mid. Yeah, it could work. It could work. Um, Kieran says Newcastle better start the new striker next game. Ruin Chambers against Barca. Oh bloody hell! Is that the first game? Barcelona. Yeah, they might be cooked. But I think in regards to Newcastle, of course they've got Voldemort, so that's the striker they've got. But he's some saying he's a number 10. I don't think he's a number 10. I think he's a striker that likes to drop deep, so he's still a number 9. They still just need to sign one more striker, whether it's Strand Larson or if it's Wissa, remains to be seen. I feel like they're going to go and pressure for Strand Larson, but I don't know if that's going to happen. So let's see what happens for Newcastle. But from a Liverpool point of view, we've got the striker that we wanted, and that is Alexander Isak. So we're over the moon about that. Dilly Steve saying Grav Maka centre mid. Yeah, it could work, to be fair. I'd probably put Sabozlai centre mid. I just feel like he gives us more energy in that bit of the park. Kieran asks, did Kanate play good today? He was better than the last couple of games, but I don't think that's a hard task to achieve. He was all right, but unfortunately, he left the pitch injured, so there is a slight concern in terms of his availability for the upcoming games. Hopefully, it's just a small knock and nothing more to it, but we'll find out in the next few days. And you said, yeah, first game in the Champions League at home. Yeah, tough game against Barcelona, and he's taking the number 27 number there. So that's cool in terms of the striker. Let me know, Kieran, who you would like as your second striker, because I'm expecting Newcastle to go for one more. Liverpool, on the other hand, we're good. We've got Isak, Gaze coming through. Double D, you're not expecting a third or another attacker coming through the door, are you?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think they'll review that again in January. I think left what
Yeah,
Gakpo Rio, Isak Ekatike Centre, right Salah, and obviously Chiesa can play anywhere across the front line. That's
yeah,
fine. And obviously Harvey could play on the right as well. Harvey
yeah.
um, could be in the 10. Well, I don't know how Bradley or Gomez come back in team or Frimpong when they fit at the moment. As I said at the start of the pod, Sobersai right back, best in the league. And now I'm playing. It's
Is
only
that
two
is that
matches.
his
It's
position,
only
or
two
do you think?
matches. Nah, he's got to
'Cause-
go back into midfield. But damn,
Okay,
that's a wicked third option to have right about now. I mean,
yeah. That goal today was special, wasn't it? Because I know he's capable of scoring goals. I've seen him score goals like that. So even during the watch long, I even said expected to balls like rocket, and then moments later, that's exactly what happened. So for me, that was his range of a free kick where he lacks that technique, that knuckleball technique where it goes over the wall and dips very instantly as it gets towards the closer to the goal. Great execution. People calling it a wonder goal. He scored plenty of goals like that. So for me, he needs to do that more often. Not saying I expect him to score free kicks on a weekly basis, but he has the ability to do that. So for me, that was an amazing goal for him to break the deadlock at that time. And you could just see the Arsenal fans. Arteta was shell shocked. I'm sure he made some excuses
yeah,
afterwards, as
because
he typically does.
because you're looking at that distance in it, and even us as fans, and we know, like we've spoken it numerous times since Somerset's been at the club.
Yes.
That's how he came to people's attention.
Yes.
He's long distance goals, like he's striking the ball, the technique um, at Salzburg and at Leipzig. So I was sitting there, I was thinking, yeah, he could actually do this. But then when I thought we'd gone in, I thought we'd gone straight top pins, and I realised on the replay it'd gone in off the post because from when I saw the fans getting mad, I knew it
Yeah.
was enough. I thought, oh no, that's a great free kick. At first, I thought, oh, has Raya done a thing? I thought, no, that's a wonderful free kick. What top draw free
No,
kick?
great free kick indeed. Just gonna go through some of the comments before we close the show. DC said, "Now, Sabot owns right back now. You crazy? Nah, he's still a midfielder. But look, it's great to know that he can play that role and be effective. Like the best kind of comparison that I can give Sabozz, like in my head, he's like a Valverde of Real Madrid because Valverde played right back on occasions last season as well.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
we
yeah,
know that's
yeah.
not his role, right? We know if he needs to be there as a makeshift, he can do it, but that's not his role, isn't it? So uh, I think that's the best kind of comparison I can give in current terms because Valverde, we all know box to box midfielder, fantastic player. But even when he plays right back, he did a good shift for them as well. So yeah, that's the best way of looking at it. So you wouldn't put Valverde permanently as a right back, but yeah,
Exactly,
I see why fans are
exactly.
getting excited because he's done two man of the match, performances. But for me, he's still a midfielder. Kieran says probably Wissa is the one. Wissa would be a good option for Newcastle, I think, off the bench or even to play alongside Voldemort as well. So it'd be interesting to see, how they pan out. Kieran says we're looking at Fratesi on loan. That's the Inter Milan player, isn't it? And Fermin from Barca. I'm not too familiar with do you know about Fratesi and Fermin Double D? Fermin
I've
Lopez. He's a young one, isn't he?
Fratesi is a baller, bruv. Was that Inter
Okay.
last season? I'm sure it was a loan from Sassuolo, but that'll be a very good pickup. That'll be goals from
Okay.
midfield as well. And yeah, I heard about the Fermin Lopez one. Chelsea interested as well, but Chelsea have got enough people that can play on the wing or centrally as well. So yeah, that'll be another good pickup for Newcastle. Could give them some creativity from midfield as well because they've got the box to box energy in there from Jacob Ramsey, who's actually one of my friend's players. Like he's agent, he's the
Okay.
football consultant for my boy P. But
Yeah.
yeah, that would be really good news for Newcastle if they could get them in. Firmino Lopez is a baller, but had a very good under 21s. Sorry, not under 21s, Olympics. Had a very good Olympics for Spain last year, scoring freely. You get what I'm saying? He's a good player, man. But Barca got an abundance of those sick
Yeah.
midfielders and guys that can obviously play in varying positions and that as well. I'm sure
He's
they let Pablo
predominantly
go
an
alone.
attacking midfielder, isn't he, Fermin Lopez?
Yeah, yeah, he can play on the left as well. Yeah, he can play as a
Yeah.
10 or on the left.
Yeah, I've just seen Chelsea are in talks with him as
Yeah,
well. Bloody
yeah,
hell,
but
Chelsea
how
want
many
everyone,
do they
don't
want? How many do second place of Chelsea want? How are they going to keep all
they?
Esteval, Palmer, Neto, Fink can play anywhere across the front line, João Pedro? How are they going to keep? They bought
They've even signed
Gittins.
players for
How they
their
how,
other
how are
team,
they going to
haven't
keep
they?
all these people happy?
Yeah, because they've signed players for the other team, haven't they? What was it? And Cisco?
I'm not
I
sure the
think he's
Enciso
joined
deal went
them.
through. I think there was an issue with the medical.
Oh,
Um,
is it? Oh,
But
okay.
actually, it may have actually there was I'm sure Fabrizio tweeted about it about hour and a half ago, so it may have been sorted now. But
Okay.
They want Bonotte from Brighton as well.
Yes,
I'm thinking, what the hell are Chelsea doing? You know what I'm
he's
saying?
a baller, by the way.
And they
Yeah.
landed up all these people to go fight the gorilla. You heard that talk about 100 men of the gorilla. Is that what
100
Chelsea
men.
on? Yeah.
I think
They-
that's
They're
exactly what they're
constructing the
on.
team to fight the gorilla, bro.
Trust me, I think that's exactly what they're on because I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're fighting for because no one has a 50 man or 100-man squad. It's not how it works. So yeah, I don't know what they're on right now. To be honest with you, Delise Steve says Szoboszlai has defended better at right back than Trent ever did. I'm not even gonna do that. That's probably true.
Oh,
Um,
Trent
you know
catching
what? It's
strays.
application. It's application from players because Szoboszlai is energetic, he's tenacious, so he would definitely put in a shift. But I feel like with Trent, one on one, he was decent. I'm not going to disregard him because he's not a Liverpool player anymore. But with Trent, it was more so if he's gone further down the pitch and he needs to track back, he's not running with full force. He's lethargic. He's just jogging back. He's not running back. That's the difference. So it's about application to how you present yourself, and also in certain games, he's not positionally there. Where sometimes if you are not confident against an opponent, what you need to do is just reduce the space. Stay tight on your man, and from day onwards, they'll have to have a pass back or they got to do some sort of piece of skill to get past you in the end. Trent, I always feel like he always gave the attacker 2 yards too much, and because of that, it gave them more room to just exploit him and then expose him even more. And then as they go on the out or either on the inner side, and that's why Trent for me was just suspect in certain situations. So it's about application. I feel like,
It's
you know,
it's about
with
the it's about the defensive action and that as well, because
yes,
what it is that some of Trent's defending can be questioned with him when he's closer to goal because he actually does
true.
get a lot of interceptions and make a lot of clearances up the pitch, but it depends on the eye that's watching football because
Yes,
some people when they watch it, some people like to watch a lot of games in pubs and whatnot, so with people, so you're more going to notice, just say if Wan-Bissaka runs back 20, 30 yards and makes a
yes,
side tackle, that's not Trent's
yeah,
game. So
yeah,
miss it because there's numerous games where, especially when you see stats off like an hour or whatever, you see all interceptions and whatnot. That stage, his defensive stats can stand up to anybody, but it's about certain times there might be a throw in, bro, closer to the
yeah,
goal. And it doesn't even seem like he's paying proper 100% attention. Those are the critical
mhm,
things. And then if the opponent scores, that's going to stand out more than all the other good defensive work they do. So as you said, his application is effort, but it's the defensive action in that as well. Sometimes
yeah,
he'd let people get in front of him and then like he'll barge them down. Well, not even a barge because obviously barge is illegal, but he'll push someone to the ground. It's like there
yeah,
was no need to even make a challenge there, bro. And now you've put
yeah,
the team at risk. You get what I'm saying? One of them ones there, but the issues he's having in training, I don't think it's about the just about the defending. It's just a case
mm,
that they would have just like us will watch compilations on new signings and that.
yeah,
Um, they've probably looked and they want to see those swashbuckling passes, and you get what I'm saying. That certain
yeah.
performances are what's not necessarily going to be it. So the talk is at the moment that Carvajal is going to be the right back for now for the foreseeable future. So Trent is either going to take an injury or he might have you see Trent end up in midfield or something like that. But
I wouldn't be surprised.
yeah,
That's a good point.
we'll see. We'll see how it goes. To be honest, we could have told him. They switched on Cristiano Ronaldo, who's one of the best players in their history.
Yeah,
We could, them fans are hard to please.
there you are. And you know they'll be swinging in that white flag as soon as they've had enough of him. So you know that it's very cutthroat at Real Madrid and also Barcelona. So if you're going there, you know you've got to expect the worst as well. Don't just think everything's going to be rosy. You know, and that's probably what the Liverpool officials or you know within the club would have communicated to him. But you know he's made his decision. Quick one, would you take Trent back if that situation ever arose in the future?
Someone brought that rumor up the other day, but I thought it was a bit. I think it's a bit far fetched. If all that's gone into him moving to Spain, I
Yeah,
don't think he'd give in that easily. But if nothing changes by January, don't count it out completely because um, don't. I still think it'll be very unlikely because it's a World Cup year. So if it being a World Cup year, you need to play football. But then because already he's not even in the latest England. Yeah, the latest England
uh,
squad already. So already it looks as though Tuchel is going in the direction of not fancying him. So the only way to be able to get back into the reckoning would be to play more. But it's a mad one still. It's a mad one still. For his ability, I've never seen such a maligned footballer. Obviously,
mm.
you want the defender to be better because it's primarily like that's his position. You get what
That's
I'm
his
saying?
bread and
But
butter, isn't it?
yeah, that's his job. That's the bread and butter. But
Yeah,
I just think that certain times you have to put in as well. Just like, for instance, though he was a false nine, we'd mentioned Firmino's work rate. This is this is a man who isn't even 30, nowhere near the end of his career, but yet has the most assists by a defender in the
yeah,
history of the Premier League.
yeah. It's true.
And I think as soon as Jurgen went, he thought about, yeah, I'll go to Real. And obviously, he would have had
Yeah,
Jude in his ear as well, because Klopp, there's certain things he got away with defensively
mm,
that Klopp allowed him to because he was a
yeah.
playmaker, so he was so pivotal to the team. Now we're getting creativity from different areas on the slot,
Areas. Yeah,
so it meant that we were able to get by. But I must say though, defensively, especially more in the first part of the season, Trent did really well on the slot. But I think as well because he
he
was
did.
nursing the injury, I don't think he was pushing forward as much as he usually would, which helped because against certain opponents, a large degree of doing well defensively is the positioning. If you're not going to go
Mm,
forward as much, you can't get caught going the other way as much as you have throughout your Liverpool career. You get me?
yeah. No, it's true. I actually think at that time as well, the first half of the season, probably the best right back in the league because he was playing more defensively. He wasn't going further up, but his passing was still the same. As in, he was still distributing the ball really well. So he was definitely told to focus on his defending, especially on a one-on-one sort of situation. And he was, asked to be a bit more reserved. And then
Yeah.
at times he was inverting on few occasions as well. So no, he definitely improved defensively. I think under Slot, but of course I do agree. I think when Jurgen Klopp left, I think that was for him. He assessed the situation for, maybe it's time for me to face another challenge and see how it goes. And Real Madrid, with Jude already being there, always feel like it was the likely destination. But let's see how it goes. I don't know if I would take him back. I feel like the bridges have been burned, but you can never say never in football. I think. Mazzy says, Ozzy, how you feeling tonight? We've signed the best striker in the world, the most complete striker since R9. Indeed, we have our Swedish R9. I hold R9 with very high regards. I wouldn't even compare anyone to R9. That's just my opinion there. Um, but I do feel like we've signed one of the best strikers in the world currently. So yeah, I definitely think we should be over the moon because this was a dream signing. If Double D asked me a few months ago, who's your signing? I would have said Alexander Isak, and I've been saying it for months as well. So for me, this is the guy I wanted, and Liverpool have made it happen. So I'm over the moon, as you can tell whenever you see me wear shades on my show. So you can tell I'm cocky, I'm cool with it today. So yeah, very, very happy about that signing. Kieran says, Mazzy, I wouldn't say the best striker in the world. Yeah, I'd probably say Haaland's the best striker in the world, to be fair. But in terms of the league and in Europe, he's definitely one of, if that makes sense. So it's always an argument. You can never say someone's the best because there's always an argument to that statement. But he's definitely one of the best strikers in the world for sure. Mazis asks, Aussie LFC are moving bit mad, breaking the British transfer record twice in one transfer window. The trouble this season is coming, bro. I'm gonna go one step further. The quad is coming. It's the way we're moving right now. So yeah, that's what I'm on right now. Uh, Mine says Kieran, he's a striker who can score goals and dribble. He's the most complete striker comparing to Kane and Lewandowski. Mine says Ozzy was supposed to showing boss levels at right back. Does Frimpong or Bradley get back in? I think they do. I think they will get back in at some point. Um, so yeah, I definitely think they will. Uh, 1 second. Just got a caller here, so I'm gonna bring him on very short. Let me just go through some of the comments and then we'll bring him on. Steve says, our number 9, give him the ball and he'll score every time. Facts. See, Senor. So we've already got a song for him already. I like that. And Kieran says, Ronaldo, Messi. Uh, Obviously, they're not in comparison to Isak, of course. Ronaldo and Messi are not playing at their prime level right now. They're on the verge of, their retirement stages, I think. But in terms of strikers, to be fair, there's not a lot of crazy top level strikers in the world, in my opinion. So in terms of Europe, you'd say Isak, Haaland, those are the top strikers. Kane as well. I'd definitely put Kane in the mix as well. So no, for me, we've definitely signed one of the best strikers in the world. I don't care what anyone says, it's not going to need to dampen my mood. So yeah, for me, this is a player that is definitely going to change the outlook of the season. So I'm all for it. I'm just going to add another caller to the show. Let's bring him on. And it's Carl. Big up, Carl. How you
Hey,
doing, bro?
big up to you, man. Big up to you. I'm very new to your channel, and
Oh, appreciate
as
it.
I am buzzing, and then the news got me all the electrified, so to speak. Pause a little bit, but I am happy, and I thought you put it out there, and
Yeah,
there's no better time to give it a call, man, to share that
I appreciate
excitement.
you. I appreciate you because I did a show probably like 2, 3 hours ago where I did a match reaction and the news
Yeah,
broke. And then it caught me off surprise. I'm thinking, do you know what? There's no way I'm going to sleep today. So I
yeah,
have to do a live stream.
yeah.
Literally, I was telling Double D earlier on, I had the design for my thumbnail made a week ago. It was already pre-planned in my mind. So the bomb was going to happen
You
in some
manifested
shape
it.
or form. I manifested it. So for me, it was ready. All I had to do was put it on live. And
Put
yeah,
it
here
on.
we are. We're talking about it right now.
Yeah.
Were you expecting an announcement today, or were you just
No, I
hoping that we
actually
get some
early
good
morning.
development?
I expected it early morning because I
Yeah,
actually expected it. I expected Gay to be done around right now,
yeah,
around the same time. I expected Gay to go through because I felt that that one was just what they were saying. A 35 million flat was rejected, and a 35 million was and 10% in sell on clause was put in. So I thought that one was very close, and then they were looking for 35 plus five. I was like, you know what? Just give them the 40 mil. Just
yeah,
give them what they want. It's not that big of a deal. It's too late now
yeah.
to catch on, to create to get a deal done. And like, just do it. It's not that big of a deal. But hey, it's in reverse. I mean, it, now now what I'm starting to feel, and I'm pleasantly afraid that maybe this a Roger thing, Rogers thing might actually be something real because of
Yeah.
how fast these two things. Like if I wake up, where are you situated in the world, if you don't mind me
I'm
asking?
in London right now. I'm in the
You're in
UK.
London. Oh, okay. So this is graveyard shift for you. Uh, it's barely 10 o'clock for me. Barely 10 o'clock for me.
Okay.
So
Where are
if
you right now?
I'm in Canada, Toronto, Canada.
Canada. Okay.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Yeah. So imagine that Gay gets done in the morning. It might sound like we done, but I might have a tingling feeling there might be something else. Just a tingling
You
feeling.
never
I
know.
can't guarantee it, but it feels that way.
Do you know what? You
Right.
can't rule it out because
No.
Yeah,
Double D mentioned that they're trying to sign Jadon Sancho. So that's already a player in mind that would take Rodgers' place in the team. I know Rodgers plays number 10, but Sancho can play there. Sancho can play on the wings as well. So, and plus they're signing Paqueta. From is that deal still
is
happen,
that
isn't it?
is that going or not going? I think
I'm
there's a
not
mixed feeling in that one. Mixed signal in
okay.
that.
Okay, because I haven't checked on it today. I think yesterday was that there's
Yeah, it
been
was very
discussion.
hot.
So
Yeah,
So it remains to be seen if that happens. But you can't rule it out because the rumor from our side is that if Harvey Elliott goes, then we've got Rogers that comes in to replace him. And I feel like there's too much going on in the space of 24 hours. But you know what? I'm all for it. I'm here. I'm waiting for these bombers to drop. We've already got
yeah,
one this morning. I'm so sure that if we go to sleep for the next few hours, we'll get another one. I think Mark Gay. I think that's what surprised us Liverpool fans because we thought the Mark Gay deal is a formality. Like you said, it's 35 plus five. Whether it's a sell-on clause or 5 million as an add-on, it's just little details that's
yeah.
going to be ironed out.
And I guarantee
This way,
the
shape, or
the
form.
the 10% of the selling clause will probably add up to 5 mil. Might as well give
Yeah,
them the 5 mil.
that's what the way they phrase. I'm like, yeah, it's close enough to 5 mil. Like you just been a
Yeah,
bit long right now. So
yeah,
I don't know how they're trying to sugarcoat it, but for me, we thought that's the deal that's going to be done because he's played tonight. His sort of interview after the game, it felt quite evident that he's on the verge of leaving. He didn't want to say out loud, and he didn't want to go over the crowd and applaud them because it would have made it very obvious that he's leaving. And sometimes these deals don't actually happen as well. So it would have been power in his face if he clapped saying that he's going, but then he ends up staying for another season. So
yeah.
um, I'm expecting the Gay deal to be announced tomorrow's. Oh, should I say today? Now we're past long way past midnight, so I'm expecting that deal to happen in the
Maybe
next few
around.
hours. What?
I'm guessing. I'll say around 11 your time. 11 a.m.
Yeah,
your time. 11,
yeah.
12 p.m. your time.
Because the
Yeah.
window closes a lot earlier than
Yeah, it'll
normal.
close at
So
7, right? 7.
7, yeah.
Yeah,
Because before it
seven,
used to
yeah,
be
seven.
11 p.m. So it's a huge rush for these clubs to finalize some deals. But I think because we've done the groundwork for Guehi and of course Isak. Isak's just a medical now. It's just something where he's probably at the club right now, or he's probably in a
You think they're
hotel
already
nearby.
doing the medical right now?
Probably
I
not
did.
now, but it'll probably be scheduled for like early morning. So he's
They're already
probably
putting around 5 a.m., 6 a.m. type of
yeah,
situation.
yeah. Got to do that shift. So he's got to wake up early and do that medical. So got to
Uh,
seal that deal by midday. What about Joe Gomez? How are you feeling about that news? Because I'm getting sort of mixed responses online in terms of some fans are happy about it to an extent because of his injury record. I'm on the boat where I'm not too pleased about it because I feel like we're going to weaken our squad if we sell him because I don't feel like we have enough centre backs in our squad.
Yeah,
What's your viewpoint about Joe Gomez?
I double agree on with this. I mean, we don't need to sell him.
No.
We don't need to sell him. We don't need the money. Like it's the same situation as Konate. Like the benefit of selling him doesn't help
Yeah,
us. It doesn't.
true.
It doesn't really help us. Like I think the max maybe a year or two ago we could have got at least between 30 and 50. But now his value is probably what 10 to 20 between 10 and 20.
That's how much they're bidding. They're bidding around £10 million
Yeah.
for
So what like what am I gonna do with Teddy? He's worth
yeah,
way more. Like even if he played 5 games the whole
yeah,
season, in that 5 games, there won't be anything that I see from him that I'll be
yeah,
like, well, we should have sold you. Like, no, I mean, completely agree with you. The benefit
yeah,
outweighed any money that we could get from him. Well,
yeah.
any money of his value,
Yes.
of his current value. Like so we just need to. Nah, he's not for sale.
No.
He's not for sale. Like unless you
Yeah.
overpaid. I'm saying unless you put
Yeah.
a 30 million pound on the table for him,
Yeah.
I'm not that interested. And you'll be
No.
crazy to be spending 30 million pound on a what on a 27, 28 year old who's
Yeah.
injury prone. Um,
Injury prone. Yeah.
yeah,
No, I
especially
agree.
especially especially if you're in an Italian team, you got 30 million pounds is like what almost 40 million euros. So 40
Yeah.
million euros for an Italian team, that's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. Yeah,
That's a
it
lot of
is.
money for them.
We
So
signed Leone for about 25, 26 million. So, and that's regarded as a big fee in
yeah,
Serie A. So, for them to sign Joe Gomez at that price range, I don't think it would make sense for them to do that as well. So, I don't know. It's a bit of a crazy one because I thought it was just paper talk. And I know there was a rumor yesterday where apparently Palace wanted Joe Gomez as part of the gay deal where we offered 30 plus he goes out on loan for a year with Palace and they rejected it instantly. So I'm a little bit surprised that we're open to a permanent deal because I get it, he's injury prone. He's had his fair share of issues in the past few years. But like you've said, 10 million is nothing in this day and age. So I would rather have Joe Gomez in our squad where let's say we're playing in the Champions League and he comes on for the game that elevates us to the next phase.
yeah,
We get like a big chunk of money from him helping out. We'll get more than 10 million. So
yeah,
financially and from a business point of view, it makes more sense to keep him on board because you've got an experienced player there who can cover different positions and we don't need to use him every game or we don't need to have to select him in every squad as well because we would have Mark Gay, we will have Leone, Konate, Virgil. So you've got 4 centre backs ahead of him. So he's not going to be regarded as one of the first names you put on the sheet unless you have a lot of injuries.
yeah.
So I would feel a little bit nervous only having 4 established centre backs in our team. I know people say, "Oh, Endo can play there," but I don't want Endo and
I don't want
Gravenberg
that.
dropping
I don't want that.
to that team.
So for the cup, a
Yeah,
fixtures, we could play him with a obviously with
Leone.
Leone or
Yeah,
even or even Gay,
yeah,
um,
yes,
or even Gay. So and then that's a solid back. That's a solid pair in the
that's
Premier
the
League
England
already.
pair.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm not saying it's top 10, but it's definitely top 15. You
Yeah,
know, it's depending on some of the some of the team that you get, some of the other clubs that you might be playing against.
yeah.
It's perfectly fine. It's perfectly eh, like it's
That could be
just
good enough for the England national team. Like that, I'm not even like joking. I actually feel like that could be an England national team centre pairing because
extended pairing. Well, I mean, it could be. It could definitely be. But I think if Kwanzaa develop out there in the
yeah,
Bundesliga, that might be the pairing.
Yeah.
That might be the pairing, but we'll have to see. Um I don't know who. Like, it feels like if again we don't want to go too deep into the England national team, but like I feel like Tuchel might do the a Stone or even a
Yeah, I think you're right.
Maguire type of situation.
Maguire, yeah.
Yeah, type of situation. But I do think if our boy Kwanzaa can very much impress, and Bayern doesn't really drop from their position. So I'm saying, being in the top five
Yeah.
in the Bundesliga, he might give himself a good shout to be part of
Yeah.
that squad, to come to the States and Mexico and Canada.
Yeah. I'm not sure in terms of how they perform, but I read something earlier on today that Ten Hag's position is under fire as Bayer Leverkusen manager. So I don't think the
Already?
results have gone already like 2 games in. So that's like
Yeah,
wild.
because their first game that Quanza actually scored in, they
Yeah.
lost 2-1 at home. And then
Yeah.
they were 3-1 up on the weekend. The other team had 10 men and it finished 3-3. So he might be out of a job before
But
September
to
starts.
get sacked like that, that's a bit wild, no?
Do you know who they were playing against?
Huh?
Do you know
Who
who
were
they
they
were
playing double
playing?
D?
Who they were?
Uh,
What they playing?
On Saturday, I think it was Werder Bremen they played on.
Okay.
Okay, Werder Bremen they're not that bad. They're
Yeah.
not as bad as they used to be.
Yeah.
They've gotten better, but if you're winning 3-1, you gotta you gotta finish.
Yeah, when you're 3-1 against 10 men, when you're 3-1 up against 10 men, you gotta get that done. Saying that, we almost dropped points against 10 men last Monday, but
Our tough, yeah,
we
that's
we
different
pushed them.
circumstances. These men were on demon time, for lack of a better word. At that time, they were not here to play football. They were here
Oh yeah.
for some
Yeah,
other some other things. Like
They were
like,
they wanted smoke that day. They were on
yeah,
it. But
yeah, they
it's
were
funny,
looking.
like, they made Joe Linton like he was about to be Prime Tyson or something, like he's about to knock people out, but it was nothing to that. He fell to the ground and injured his thigh or something. So he's out. And Tonali kept on shoving Ekitike and then injured his shoulder as well. So all that that talk ended up not happening in the end for Newcastle. But
Yeah.
yeah, look, I don't think I haven't noticed your titles. I'm loving the energy in terms of future
Oh,
quadruple
that's what I'm
winner
saying, man.
because
Future quadruple with energy, future
it's the energy I
quadruple
want.
winners, baby.
It has to be. It has to be. We're signing one of the best strikers in the world, and we're about to sign Mark Gay. For me, it's probably the first time that Liverpool actually have a complete squad where I feel like we've got great cover for each role. And I feel like we've got the strength and depth that we've probably lacked over the years to really go. Because remember, we're probably only the one of the few English teams that have been close to winning a quad. We've been in parts of the season where we were very, very close. So it's only a matter of time that we can make it happen. I think you're on mute, Carl. I can't hear you.
can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now. I hear you now.
Okay. I think it was one of the first time in doing club era where I felt the loss, us losing the title, us losing the Champions League. I felt
Yeah,
that, man, because like I was like, yo, I was ready to go on for lack of better words, ape shit, because like because I was like, yo, I would have been able to talk again to any of my friends, any of my brethren
yeah,
forever. That is
yeah,
something I would have been able to hold over their head forever. That I've basically accomplished football immortality
yeah.
and winning 4 trophies, and I guess sometimes God has a way to humble you, and and
It
and,
does.
and they did not want it to happen. But again, I think we can do it. Whether it's this year or next year, I think there is a way for us to do it. Like I said, 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago, if we get Rogers, man, that to me there is no version of that team that we put in, we
Yeah,
put on the pitch that is that we you could call it's a bit lacking. So
yeah,
imagine that you have a back of Robertson, Guehi, and either Leone or Gomez, and then at right back you have either Frimpong or Bradley. In the midfield, you bring if you want to put Endo and
yeah.
Soboslai and Jones, and then up front you could go with Chiesa, Ekitike, and Rogers, or even if it could Isak, Rogers, and Keza. There's no version of that team that you're like you're not calm.
Mm,
You even you put that team out in the Premier League against certain teams. You should be thinking, I know this is not the perfect mix of midfield, but we should get
yeah,
a result. We should be 3 points collectors today.
yeah.
Like that kind of situation. And yeah. And
No,
do you know who what would have been perfect for this? And I wish that he was healthy and I wish that he was able to develop. It would have been Bicetic. Imagine Bicetic
mm,
when he first came out, and then he's the number six in that in that you have Bicetic, Soboslai, and who's the other guy? Bicetic, Soboslai, and Jones,
mm,
and you have that man that's a good midfield, that's a decent midfield,
yeah.
and that's a very balanced midfield, and I
Mm,
wish he was more healthy, and so you could have developed a
yeah.
little bit more.
What's the extent of his injury? Is he out for some time? Because I know he picked up an injury about a month ago. Hopefully, it's not
I feel
long
like
term, is it?
he's gotten I heard for some reason he gotten over it, but maybe not fit. He's not yet
Okay.
fit to play,
Mm,
some
it's a
situation like
concern.
that. Yeah.
It's a concern because I feel like it's just one of those things where players at that age group they do pick out injuries just due to their growth as well. Because he's still a growing boy, isn't he?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it might
yeah,
just be something along those lines. Hopefully, it's not a long term issue where he becomes a player that's become injury prone because he's a talented player. Um, I don't expect him to leave as well. So hopefully, if he gets himself match fit, he will be in and around the team, in my opinion. So
Yeah,
for
I
me,
think
we've
that
got
might
a
be
good
good for him.
balance.
If yeah, you're
Yeah,
right. If I think he feels around the team,
yeah,
and even though he's as long as he can concentrate on I'm not gonna be playing true, but the most important thing for me is to get healthy, stronger,
yeah,
and practicing with the first team.
yeah.
I think if you can do that, it's perfect.
That'd be perfect for him. No, I totally agree. Just gonna go through some of the comments together. Let's
Yeah.
see who was the last comment that was made. Mazzy says Ozzie with Salah, Isak, and Baller like Ekitike playing up front is going to be a madness. G. Plus, we've got hardcore backup like Chiesa, Gakpo, and Boy Wonder Rio. We haven't even mentioned Rio today. We've got a wonder kid there as well. So another player to add to the mix there. Deleuze Steve said, "Man said future quadruple winner." Listen, we need that energy. This is the night for that kind of energy. We're not gonna be modest here. We've got to
Hey,
be
come on.
arrogant.
You call
I
yourself
don't normally,
deluded Steve.
I don't normally wear sunglasses on my show. Listen, this is for today. This is why I'm arrogant. I'm wearing shades for a reason. I don't have bad eyesight or I'm not in the sun. There's a reason why I'm wearing it today. So I'm arrogant. I have to be because all the time I'm saying Isak's coming. People have doubted me, but he's here. So I'm happy that we
Yeah.
finally got our star striker. Delusive. Is this the same car from Anfield Irishman? Have you been on
Yes, it is.
Anfield Irishman?
Yes, it is. Yes, it
Oh,
is.
nice,
Yes, it
nice.
is.
Big
Hey,
up,
what's
big up.
up?
Yeah, big up.
Big up to you, Steve.
Yeah, big up. Man said Liverpool are creating a super team who will dominate English and European football for many years to come. I really hope so. John says enjoy Andy Carroll for version 2.0. I highly doubt that, John. Appreciate your comment
We
there.
will. We will. We will. Very much so.
We'll enjoy him very much. So we will enjoy him. Yeah. The new Steve said in the Kyla said Isak is staying at hotel Bloody hell, he knows about the hotel as well where he's staying. Like, in the clearness, he's calm down, revealing too
What
much
is this,
information
man?
there.
That's feeling a little bit stalkish, man.
It is, isn't it? The other day he was tweeting saying, "Oh, they like when the Newcastle owners came to visit him, oh, they gave each other a hug, they went to the garden." Thinking, why is this guy painting like some movie script here? It's just it's too much detail, man.
I
Like,
didn't see
relax.
that. I
Like,
didn't see that one. I didn't see that one. Like,
I'll have to send it
so
to you
is
because
he one of
it's
those
too much
writers,
detail.
those journalist writers that give fluff information for no reason?
Trust me. That's what it felt like. It felt like it was like a Bollywood movie. Like it was just a bit too much for me. So I had to put it to one side, man.
We
I
kiss,
couldn't take
we hug, and then I said no.
that. Get out my house. That's literally what happened there. TD says we need Guehi. 100%. We do need Mark Guehi, and he's a must. I'm very confident it will happen tomorrow. Delisi says salty Newcastle fans in the chat. They will be salty. They will be salty. But we'll let them get it off their chest. If they want some sort of therapy lesson today or session, they can have it today.
Ozzy,
If they
quick
need.
question: do you think they get more money if they have played this differently?
Maybe. I think if they were a bit more open to the move earlier in the summer,
Yes,
possibly. Because I
I
feel
think they
like
get
Liverpool,
an extra 10 mil.
yes, I think Liverpool, because it's been quite evident from our part that it was Isak and no one else. So
Yeah,
because we've had that strong stance that that's the guy we want, if they played that sort of like, you know what, we'll talk business, but our valuation is 140. Like that is the maximum that we will do. I think Liverpool would have actually gone for that bid, and they would end up having more money because they tried to play us around. And because I feel like when we showed interest, they never gave us a yes or no. That's what I got from that. Like they were very coy about it. They didn't really want to say yes or no. And then they tried to sign Ekatike from us as well. But
yeah,
obviously we were in negotiation, we were in discussions with him for months.
yeah,
So Newcastle fans didn't like him that way. But had they been open from the start, I think so. I think they could have got at least because the deal was around 125, 130. I think they could have got 140. I really think they could have. So,
yeah,
had they played it properly, and also that money could have been used a lot earlier where they wouldn't have to gone down to number 20 on their striker list. They would have got the first few targets instead. They've had to shop around the whole of Europe to sign strikers. Everyone's
yeah,
been rejecting them left, right, and center. So had
yeah,
they got the money before, they would have signed a Sesko beforehand, if that was the main target, if that makes sense. So
yeah,
I think from a Newcastle point of view, they've played it all wrong from a PR point of view, but also from a business sense. Of course, we're getting the deal done, but they've been kind of forced to accept that deal now.
yeah.
So had they been a bit more open to negotiate, because I feel like they just got a bit too big headed. Because they beat us in the Carabao Cup, maybe they thought we're big boys now as well.
You know
And,
why? You know why that relates perfectly to your point is that
mm,
i- from a business point and a PR point, what you have done is that you have said a player is bigger than your club
yeah,
by refusing to even listen to
yes,
record bidding. Because by doing that, you should have just, even though you don't want to sell them, you could have fake listen.
yeah,
You could have fake listen. You could have drive a hard ball for at least a month, fake listening, or even though you might be like, you know what, if push to shove, we're selling them at 130, 140, 135, 140, but
yeah.
we can fake listen, fake thinking about it. Because that what would have happened is that if you were fake listening, Isak would have probably been in your a Asian tour.
Yeah.
He would have probably be in your training. He probably would have played maybe one or two one game for you. Maybe he would have actually been sold either before the season starts or or after the Newcastle game.
It's true.
Or he wouldn't have played in a Newcastle game because quote unquote we make a deal
Yeah.
that he's not playing. There's a deal on the table, he's not playing, or think, oh, thigh injury, he can't play.
Yeah.
But but because you didn't fake get into the table, it got ugly. It got ugly. To me, just like you said, you were pretty sure. I wasn't pretty sure, but I'll say I was around 80% that it was gonna get done. But to me, it became stupidly clear to me it's getting done is that when the owner traveled all the way from Saudi Arabia, and you're looking at his face, he's not having fun. He's not having fun. These men, they wear their emotion in their face, even though even though they swear they don't.
Yeah,
you can tell this is not going well. This is not going well.
They don't accept no as an answer. They don't accept no as an answer. So for them, it really hurt their pride. So it's something where had there been a bit more of the opinion of having a business sense rather than using emotion to it, I think it could have panned out differently for Newcastle, where they could have got that money earlier on, and I think they could have reinforced a lot more within their squad if they were a bit more strategic about it. Because let's be honest, I know there's senior figures of Newcastle that left during last season that promised him a move, but even though they're not long at the club, you've already communicated to the player that, look, if a bid comes, we're willing to do business. So if you have those kind of gentleman agreements, you have to kind of live by it as well. I know it's not on paper, but look how disruptive he's been. He's refused to turn up for preseason. He doesn't even want to train with you. He trains alone, and he doesn't want to speak to anyone from the club. He's already, said messages or statements on social media when everyone's in the same room, because we had the PFA awards at the time as well. So everyone got a notification when they were in the same room that Isak just did something on social media. So they've played it all wrong. But look, for me, I'm just very pleased that there is a conclusion, and it's a positive for Liverpool. That Liverpool have actually signed the player.
You're right. You're right. And then I'm sure that on hindsight, them releasing that statement after he released his own statement, that was a major L. Because I think that's the number one reason why I think the owners were not able to convince him.
Yeah.
To me, that's the biggest reason why ownership was not able to convince him to stay. Because that statement, you call him a liar,
straight,
and then you call him a liar politely. You politely call him a liar, and then you also demanded that he gets back to work.
Yeah. But also, it doesn't close the door of a potential transfer. They didn't say he's not for sale. Don't talk to us. They left that statement like, "Oh, conditions weren't met." So when you say conditions weren't met,
foresee that to be. Come on, man. Now Isak is thinking, "What do you mean you don't foresee those conditions to be met? I want to leave.
Yeah,
it's the only condition that needs to be met. I want to leave."
It's true.
There you go. So I think, to me, on hindsight, responding to Isak in that manner I think, is the biggest drive for that transfer to be happening.
Yeah, I think so. I think Newcastle have literally dropped the ball on that. But they get the money, but of course they've spent it on. Baltimore's has been signed for about 70 odd million. Yeah. So pretty much just under half of
above half, a little bit above half of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're probably still going to try and sign one more striker. I think they're linked to Strand Larson from Wolves.
It'll probably be Visser.
It'll be Visser, isn't it?
To me, it has to be Visser.
Actually, I think it might end up being Strand Larson, actually, because Visser, I think they're saying they want like 65 M's, because obviously they're putting the price up to reach like 28, 29. Because they know they know of the incoming money, so therefore probably more likely to be Strand Larson, who didn't play for Wolves on Saturday. So
no, he didn't. He was in the crowd.
That will probably be. I'm surprised that they never tried to get involved with Vlahovic, to be perfectly honest, because with Jonathan David coming now, which Carl, you know all about, with him playing for Canada and that. With Jonathan Davis going to Juventus, they're forcing
But they
Vlahovic out.
dismissed that, didn't they?
And,
Because
and
they've got
he just
Damien Comoli, isn't it,
and
as the sporting director. He said, "No,
and
we're not selling Vlahovic."
and what's it? And Vlahovic scored again today for them to win.
Oh,
He
did
scored
he?
again today. Yeah,
Yeah,
they beat. I think it was Genoa. They beat 1-0, and he scored again. He scored in the first game last week as well.
yeah.
David got the opener, and he scored in that as well. So I'm surprised about that. But if it's a case of this hand not to sell now, cool. But it's harsh then that they've brought in David Henderson because Vlahovic is a finisher, either foot and whatnot as well. He was a striker that a couple seasons ago I wouldn't have minded Liverpool bringing him in, to be honest. But
Yeah.
now it's Isak time, baby. It's
Isak and Ekitike, I don't think we could have planned a better combination because for me, Ekitike is like a baby Isak. That's how we referenced him early in the summer. So
Yeah.
he's going to learn from Isak as well. And I think they can actually play together in different type of roles as well. So
Yeah. Yeah.
we've got the perfect blend. We've got real cover for that striking position. And, I feel like the way I'm looking at this summer, players that have left, for me, we have upgraded those players. So for me, we have the better squad now. Because that was the talking point a few weeks ago where people are, oh, this squad is worse than what it was 12 months ago. But business has not been concluded. Tomorrow, once it concludes, once the windows close, then you can assess the squad in that way. Right now, it appears that Isak and Gay is coming through the door. So you would look at the squad and think, do you know what? We have actually improved, in my opinion, and we've actually added more strength and depth to our squad. So let's see what the energy is from certain fans within our own fan base. But I feel like we have improved from last year. We've got a few more comments here from TD says, lads, Palace counter us 35 million plus 10% add-ons plus 5% sell-on clause. What are we waiting for? Just give them the 5 million add-ons. I think that's what they wanted originally. So um,
Sorry. Well, 10% add-on. That's
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 five.
that's 38. That's 38.5. So 10%
Yeah,
of the 35. So that's 38.5, and
yeah.
then plus five sell.
Sell-on
I,
clause.
I think I think we might accept that one
Could be.
because
Yeah.
that's less than 35 and 5. Right? That's less
So
than 35 and 5. And then 5% on sell is what maybe. I don't foresee us selling Gay. That what he's 25.
yeah.
He's
yeah, mid
25,
20s
and then we probably getting him on a 6-year contract.
potentially. 5, 6 year,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I like, and then he's a center back. He's probably gonna be there for the next. If he can be that player for the next 6 years, he's probably gonna be here for almost a decade.
Long time
So
if he lives up to the bill.
yeah, so yeah, I'll do it. They might never see that 5% on clause. If that's true, TD, they might never see it.
The
They
the thing
might
is, I
never
don't
see it.
expect us to sell. Like, let's say it doesn't work out. I don't expect him to go out for more money than what we're paying. I don't envision that, to be fair, because if he's not successful at Liverpool, that doesn't increase his stock. If that makes sense. So for me,
Mm.
this deal is fine from our point of view. Like we'll accept that deal because I feel like we're not. On paper it should be 35 plus 5. It's just more simple to do that. But they want to
Yeah,
add all these clauses and stuff, like complicate the thing. Just accept it. Like you said, it's not even 40 million. It's less than 40. So
yeah,
that's what they want. They can get all technical about it,
sure.
but
Yeah.
as long as we get the player, I think that's
So
the
so
main thing.
that basically that tells me that if we give them a flat fee of 38 million, they might accept it.
Potentially, yeah. If that's the mark that they're going for, because they've obviously done the
Yeah.
maths to say that's what we value him as a
Yeah.
player.
Well,
So
actually, if you give them a flat fee of 40, they'll be more than they'll
oh,
hit
they'll
him
take
right
him.
away. They'll hit him right away. But
Yeah.
but I think also if you give them 38 million, they might be like, okay. They might resign
Yeah,
themselves
they
to it.
might take it.
Yeah.
Yeah. At this stage, I think they'll take it as well because
Yeah.
they've already found their replacement. And I think they paid about 27 mil for him. So,
Oh, okay. I
they've
thought you were looking for what was his name? I can't remember his name. Another
the centre
French
back.
player, maybe another
Yeah,
French. Uh,
Canva is his name, I think. So they've
uh,
signed him from Toulouse. They were linked with another defender in Osman Diomande from Sporting, but that kind of fizzled out. He's actually a good player, but
Yeah.
I don't think that's happening. So
Do you,
unless
do you
we get
think it's one of
breaking news.
those the players not willing to move or
I think so. I think it. Do you know what? It might, as silly as it sounds, it might have been because they didn't qualify for the Europa League. Because remember they had the issue with the
Mm,
ownership, and this was very early on that apparently they were in sort of very advanced negotiations. But once that news broke out that they go into the Conference League, maybe he thought, I don't want to go there because it's not Europa League. Whereas Sporting would have played at least for Europa League, isn't it? Or even in the, no, they're not in the Champions League, are they? So yeah.
mm,
So for me, I think that might have been a bit of a stumbling block. Um, but maybe the move just didn't appeal to him in the end. So
yeah.
yeah, he's a good player. I think he's definitely one to look out for. 'Cause I do expect him to move to a Premier League side in the near future. Very, very talented player. Just got a few more comments here. TD says Mr. Madrid Konate is as good as gone, lads. I don't know if he's as good as gone, to be honest
I
with
don't
you.
think so.
He's been poor,
No.
but
Uh, to me, I think they're more interested in Saliba than Konate.
yeah, I think so as
Yeah,
well.
I think they are more interested in Saliba. I think they're using Konate as a smokescreen.
Not really.
A
Mm.
to me,
Is
Saliba is
Saliba
more
in
in
his
the type
final
of
year?
what
Is
2 years,
Saliba in his final year? 2
2 years.
years. Okay,
Yes.
okay,
So
okay.
this year and then next summer will be one more year.
One more year. Okay.
Yeah. So hey, I mean, I mean, Arsenal fan you usually love to come in and give us a little bit of banter on that one, but so be
Say
careful,
that.
be careful, be careful next year, next summer. Eh,
Yeah.
they depending how Madrid, how things go in, like if Madrid has another center back crisis,
Yeah.
they next year they might definitely come in for a center back. They might be more willing to pay because right now they're doing the thing where they don't pay for nobody and then just get everybody to come in on a free transfer and pay the transfer that way. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Sign on fees and all that sort of stuff. That's the way they
yeah,
move, isn't it?
yeah.
So yeah, it's true. T says we need gay, of course. What's the latest? I'm sure we'll get some sort of bomber in the
Ooh,
next few hours.
we
That's what I'm
need to let
predicting
them
right
men
now.
sleep, man.
Hey, rest, we're still up right now, 3 in the morning in the UK, but you know, Mark Gay is still sleeping, man. Like he probably doesn't even live that far from where I live, to be fair, because I'm from South London, so that's where he's from.
Oh,
So,
okay, yeah.
so he
Well,
might
I
be up
spent
there.
some time in the South London. Is Croydon part of South London?
Yeah,
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 yeah.
so I spent a lot of time 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I spent a lot of time around Croydon, which my girlfriend at that time, which is my fiance now, at that time
yeah,
was not happy. But I blame her because she was like, we need to save money because
yeah,
we were also going to Spain, and obviously
yeah,
she wanted to spend a lot more money in Spain, and I think we should have. I told her we should have been around line 2 and 3 around the
mm,
Piccadilly area.
yeah, yeah,
But
Yeah.
yeah.
she didn't listen because she's like, "Oh, that Airbnb is super cheap." I'm like, "Bro," she didn't listen. She didn't listen. I said, "Look, we
Friends the
can
hood, man.
afford it.
So
I can afford it. I can afford the extra 350. It's okay."
trust me.
No, no, no.
Uh,
Which at that time, we were barely 6, 7 months in our relationship. So which
yeah,
was a little bit like, you know what? I respect that. You're looking out for my wallet.
yeah.
But after that,
That's fact.
hey, I got dirty eye for a couple hours when she found out how far it was from everything.
Nah, I hear that. No, Cohen's the hood, so yeah. Probably made the wise choice to not go there too fair. I don't live too far from Croydon, so yeah, I'm not
Ah,
too
okay.
far from there.
No, I quite
Uh,
like it because it reminds
yeah,
me a little bit of because I also grew up in New York also for a bit, so it kind of remind me of a little bit of Brooklyn, Flatbush
yeah,
area, a Canarsie area. If you ever go
yeah,
to New York, that situation it has that same vibe. So and then
yeah,
heavily Caribbean in that area.
yeah,
So I felt
yeah,
quite at home. So I didn't have an issue.
yeah. A lot of similarities with New York and London too fair. 'Cause I've been to
Yeah,
New York and it's same kind of scenario where busy city, but you got lots of diversity in certain areas as well. So
Yeah,
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 it's definitely has a lot of resemblance with the two cities. And I
yeah,
think even like in terms of slang and the way we talk, it's
yeah,
not too far off as well. So yeah, there's
yeah,
a lot
yeah,
of similarities between
yeah.
New York and London.
Yeah, you're definitely right
Uh,
of them.
yeah, Mazzy says sports of other clubs can be jealous because we are spending bare money and buying top ballers, but it's time for Liverpool to make us fans happy by winning big trophies. Well, look,
Yeah,
at one point people were saying we were buying the league, but what's it called? Arsenal have probably spent
Arsenal.
more money than
Look,
us.
man, we're about to spend two breaking transfer fee, and we still have not spent more money than Arsenal. And that's
It makes sense.
even if we get gay, even if we
Yes.
get gay, we will still not have spent more money. And then I'm not even talking about net spend, which net spend
No,
don't really matter. It
yeah,
doesn't really matter, but we still
but they
would not
haven't
have.
even sold anyone. That's the
Yeah,
thing, which
yeah.
is crazy.
They're
So
not even
they,
bringing revenue into the squad. Yeah.
it's crazy. It's crazy. The narrative is always against Liverpool, unfortunately. But yeah, it's just when you're at the top, you do get that kind of negative
It's lonely
attraction.
at the top, man. It's lonely at the
It
top.
is. It is. It
Rick
is.
said it. It's lonely at
You
the
know,
top.
if you're getting haters, you're doing something right. That's how I look at it. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
just the way it goes, unfortunately. Lominos, so he's a Newcastle fan. He says, finally, the drama is over, and you got your player, and we got our money. He will be good for you. He will finally get enough service to beat Haaland for the Golden Boot, and we can relax on PSL. Big up yourself. Lominos, he's come on the show a few times, but he's a very, down
Level
to
headed.
earth Newcastle fan. He's not, there's the ones that you see online that are trolling and stuff, but he's a proper fan. So yeah, be out yourself, Laminos.
I'm
Uh,
not sure if you know Steve Strasburg. Sorry, I'll be right back. I'm getting a phone call. I'll
yeah,
be
no
right
worries,
back.
no worries, no worries. We'll go through the comments in the meantime. Mazzy says, Laminos, I respect you. I respect what you're saying. I agree with you. Yeah, big up to Laminos. I am Batman says Isak should get some match fitness with Sweden. I hope so. Because the coach, I think it's Thomason, isn't it? The Danish striker from AC Milan back in the day. He's their coach now, so he's pretty much backed Isak in terms of his current stance, or should I say current stance, the stance from about a week ago in terms of not, you know, folding and not just allowing him to uh listen to whatever Newcastle's saying. So he was like, look, I support the player. So I'm expecting him to play some games. Hopefully he's not playing too much because I don't want him to pick up an injury due to being inactive as well. So hopefully it's a bit part player rather than several games or anything to that nature. Ra says with LFC spending over 130 million on Isak, it seems like a game-changing signing. What qualities will he bring to our team? He's a gunman. That's the best way I can describe it. He will get us lots of goals. Not only that, he's not like a tapping merchant or anything like that. He's someone that scores, goals out of nothing, but he's very versatile in terms of his style of play. He's a number nine, but he can attack the channels very well. He plays like a winger, he dribbles like a winger. So I think we're going to get that kind of excitement that we've lacked over the years. And he's a proper striker. Some have even compared him to Thierry Henry. So I'm not saying it's to that same level, but stylistically, he might share similar traits because he likes to drift from the left, but he's a great finisher from that left hand side as well. So we've got a real striker in our hands. It's about time, to be brutally honest with you. Lamina says, so Newcastle are stupid for not listening. 110 million offer and even more dumber taking this 130 million as we got as much as we could for an injury-prone striker. Mate, the reason we never sold him is till we found a replacement. He was never promised he would leave, but go ahead with your agenda. Otherwise, he would have said it in Instagram like Wissa has done. Um, he has it written. Um, I think if Newcastle were a bit more open to negotiate, because the stance was originally he's not for sale. We don't want to talk about selling the player, but behind the scenes, a gentleman's agreement. I know it's on paper, but there was a gentleman's agreement that if a bid came in, then they would be willing to do business. I feel like you may have got more money um, it's always going to be around this range. So we're just talking 5-10 million difference. But look, that's how it goes. Unfortunately, I think the Ekitike deal hurt the pride of the owners as well. So that probably made the stance stronger that we don't want to talk. But when your players not wanting to train, not wanting to travel with you guys for preseason, has gone AWOL, has sold his house, he's living in a hotel. For me, that shows that the player no longer wants to be at the club. So we've definitely, broken the British transfer record. But I feel like if it was early in the window, you may have got more. Whether that would have changed the outlook, remains to be seen. But I feel like it was always going to be Isak to Liverpool. And I'm not saying it with arrogance. When you've got a player that has revealed his card to the world, that he's not happy, he's been promised something, relationships broken with the club, the fans hate him. You guys have been saying all sorts of about him on the street, but also during the games as well, calling him a C word and all that sort of stuff. So why would he want to stay? Why would he want to reconcile as well? So, you know, see how he will. But I think I feel like if there was a bit more open dialogue in the beginning, you could have stretched it to 140. But that's just my point of view there. Raz, big up Raz. He says, which front lineup looks more dangerous? Salah, Mane, Firmino, or Salah, Isak, and Hugo. I think our current forward players have more goals in them. They have more goals in them, but I love the balance of Firmino, Mane, and Salah. They complement each other perfectly. Firmino as the false nine, Mane and Salah as your inside forward rather than wingers, and scoring the amount of goals that they did. Uh, that's like my favorite front three pairing there. So no, I think goals maybe in terms of the current crop we have, but I'm still fully going to Salah, Mane, and Firmino. Of course, time will tell in terms of how the new three gel together, but Mane, Firmino, and Salah were very, very special as a collective. Iron Batman says Newcastle value Isak for the same as their backup goalkeeper in Ramsdale, 120k a week. Yeah, it's not a lot, is it? Brentford want 60 mil for Wissa. They can keep that. Mefa, I'd rather wait in January. So would you rather just have Voldemort right now and not sign a striker? Or do you think you might go for an alternative? Let me know in the chat. Because I feel like you guys do need another second striker. Even though Gordon can play that false nine role, but I feel like having a player like Wissa would definitely uh, add to the armory that you currently have in the squad. Ra says, do you guys think with our current formidable squad we can dominate like we did in the 70s and 80s? I think so. I'm not saying we will, but I think this is the first time where we've really made sure that we've taken advantage of us being champions and strengthened the squad the way we have. So I feel like we're building a team for the future. It's a very young team, but it's a team that has very high quality, for their tender age right now. So for me, we're here to dominate. That's the plan. Whether it happens or not, it remains to be seen. But I think that is the blueprint right now. Rasta, do you think this transfer window is the best in the history of Liverpool FC? 100%. I don't think there's anything that even comes close. So for me, it's a definite yes. Burton Jav says, any news on Rodgers to Liverpool? Nothing as of yet. Maybe we'll get some sort of inkling in the morning. Um, I just want Isak and Guehi to be wrapped up. And if Rodgers comes through, that is a crazy bonus that came out of the blue. Um, but at the minute, no, I've not heard anything in regards to Rodgers. Ross says, who do you think will score more goals this season? Salah or Isak? I think it'll be Isak. I think Salah will be the more creator of our front line. So I think Isak will be the one that gets the most goals this season. Paul White, big up Paul White. He says, do you think the time is ours now? It was probably ours a few weeks ago. Only joking. I think so. I think we are favourites. Some fans may disagree, thinking Arsenal are close challenges, or maybe with Man City. Um, I still have strong belief that it is Liverpool, and I think we will retain the title and go back to back and make it number 21. So that is what I believe, and that's what I'm envisioning right now. And that is it in terms of the comments. Double D, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here, bro. I'm here, man.
Yeah, yeah. Double D, big up yourself. Thank you for coming on the show. You've been there since literally the first minute, so I appreciate you sticking by. It's 3:23 in the UK right now, so yeah, it's very late hours.
It's a
Please let the
pleasure.
people know in terms of where to follow you and how they can, reach your content as well.
Yeah, man. Well, you can see it on the screen. Um, my socials. At double D. That's DUBULDEE. For anyone who's just listening to this and not watching on YouTube, on all social platforms. Double D. I'm part of the D&D Football Factory. We're at DD Footy Factory underscore on Twitter and on Instagram and yeah, well, actually we're on TikTok, we're everywhere as well. The Footy Factory, that's DD Footy Factory everywhere. Underscore on Twitter and Instagram, but otherwise DD Footy Factory on other platforms like TikTok and that. And we go live on Top FM on the Saturday morning at 10 a.m. That's on top. That's 95.5 FM in London. But if you're not in London, the best way to listen to it is on any online radio app you've got. So there is an On Top FM app. So yeah, make sure you download that, the On Top FM app. But if not, tune in radio, simple radio, whatever. There's numerous different worldwide radio apps that you can listen on. I myself write also as well, so you can catch my stuff on danzigzags.co.uk. That's danzigzags.co.uk. And for those watching on YouTube, there's a little logo up there. I'm cooking. It's not ready
Mm.
just yet.
I was
Cooking.
about to ask
And
you, like, give
and
us an update
Oz,
on that.
yeah, Oz is gonna be a big part of that. Because it's gonna
Definitely.
have the main thing will be football, but there's gonna be like I'm definitely want to do a weekly wrestling thing as well. So
Yeah,
yeah, but that's not quite ready yet. But when it is, I'll let you know. But yeah, that will be DSN. You can follow it, but
yeah,
it's not ready to go just yet. But yeah, DSN. That's going to be the Double D Sports Network.
nice.
Um, I can't put a date on it yet, but yeah, just sorting some stuff out. Nah,
Yeah.
bit by bit, slowly but surely getting there. You get me? About time, long overdue. But yeah, get
No,
things
the
right.
logo looks good. I like the logo. It's
Thank
it's
you.
it's got nice sort of theme to it. I can notice the WWE belt there as well. So yeah, very very nice details there
Yeah,
in
nice
terms of
one there.
logos. Yeah,
Mike, obviously, because when we use it, obviously that's how talk so they can hear you. But there'll be
mm,
interviews and whatnot as well. Football,
yeah,
basketball, wrestling will be the main thing. But whatever comes up, you might even find some cricket and tennis and snooker or
yeah,
some darts. You never know what may come up. But
yeah,
yeah. But well, I'm up there because I'm sure I'll be on here again before
yeah, yeah. Definitely.
just
Yeah,
before it comes out or
yeah.
just after. And yeah, I'll have more info. But yeah, man.
Yeah, yeah, keep me posted. Like as soon as you've launched your channel, like next time you come on, just plug it in, add the link in the live chat, and I'll try and get all my subscribers to come on to your channel as well. Yeah, so
Yeah,
yeah,
big up,
definitely,
bro.
man.
Yeah,
Keep
big
me
up, bro.
posted.
Yeah, man,
Do you
always.
know what I mean? So yeah, all good. Just got a couple comments here before we close the show. Um, Paul White said, once we gel, we will be unstoppable. Only just come across this channel. Keep it up, bro. Big up yourself, Paul White. Appreciate your support there. Thank you for your comments. Raz says, great live stream. Keep up the good work. Hopefully, your channel will become bigger and better. And also, hopefully, we'll be enjoying Isak scoring a lot of goals for us. Big up yourself, Raz. Thank you for your kind words there. And yes, hopefully, we will be enjoying a lot of goals from Alexander Isak, our new number 9. So, yeah, hopefully, we'll be
Cheers.
seeing that sooner rather than later. But that is it for today, guys. Carl, I don't know if you're still there. If not, I'll definitely try and be in touch with you because great having you on the show. Uh, but yeah, that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to this impromptu show. Definitely not planned, but if you look at my artwork, it was planned because I had it designed for a week ago. So, uh, so I already manifested, that happening. But hopefully, we can get another bomber tomorrow with Mark Gay, and that will complete the transfer window. So expect another show tomorrow. Probably this kind of not this time. It's 3 in the morning. Probably around 11 p.m. in terms of my normal time slot. We'll talk about the transfers. We'll speak about what's happening on transfer deadline day. I'm sure there'll be lots of talking points. So stay tuned for that. But that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Take care, stay safe, and I hope to speak with you all very, very soon. Goodbye.